Hey everybody, welcome to Star Trek Lexington, episode, 11 or something? 11, it is. Yeah, this is, we came forth to contemplate the stars. I have just unmuted everyone because I didn't give them a warning, and I thought it would be more fun if they just kept going while I said, welcome to Star Trek Lexington, everyone.
Well, good job I wasn't naked, eh?
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah, this time.
So, if you are new, which seems unlikely, but it's possible, if you are new, this is our Star Trek Adventures First Edition Actual Play series on board the USS Lexington NCC 1709, set in the TOS era. It is currently, I think it's like 2379 or something like that, or 76, or something like that. I don't know. We're going to hear the Stardate soon. You can figure it out on your own, like a real nerd. I am, of course, joined by my wonderful crew, or cast, or both, I guess. Crew and cast, yeah. And we're going to go through with quick introductions, and then we will be just ready to play. So I'm going to start over on my top left over here with Chesh.
Hello, I'm Chesh. I'm playing Dr. Tregan. I have a channel called Debate Hub where we have intense discussions where the logo looks like Pornhub, and we are definitely raising the level of conversation.
Yes. And it's actually a very well done logo, and whoever did that logo, I think that person deserves like at least 50% of the net super chat income for the channel in perpetuity.
You want it? Sure. I have to get monetization first. So if you want to help me out with that.
Hey! Alright, let's go right above me with Tiri.
Hello, I'm Tirana. I don't really have a YouTube channel, but I'm playing Bir Chanos, the executive officer. Weirdly racist Andorian, apparently. Also, I have it on good authority that in perpetuity means never.
Oh, okay.
Steve McRae told me that anyway.
I'm dead.
Alright, we got Craig over here.
Hello, my name is Craig. I run the YouTube channel FTFE, where I argue with flat earthers and then for some reason sometimes decide to do 1,200 push-ups in one session to raise money for charity. That's why you may see me wincing every now and then, because every part of my body is currently sore. Coincidentally, the donation link is still up. If you just go over to my YouTube channel and click on my community page, you can still donate to my amazing cause to help SAFA, the Armed Forces charity. I play Commander Shelby, the engineer of this starship. I have blown up 2 star systems, and people are mad at me because of that.
But you still have a stellar reputation score in-game.
Yeah,
and you were given a promotion.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that may have been stop blowing up star systems and we'll give you an extra pip.
Hey, remember that time that alternate universe Kirk went from newest cadet in Starfleet to captain in the span of about a day or so?
Yeah. Hey. But
they were using this system of reputation.
Yes.
They have now officially actually destroyed the entire Kelvin timeline in the comics.
Oh no, not the Kelvin timeline. Anyway, Jordan.
Yes, perfect, Daniel, yes.
So yeah, I'm Jordan. I run a channel called Reason It Out, where we talk skepticism and the Shroud of Turin occasionally, on rare occasions. And
it's
I play... I'm working to change that in the new year, because otherwise I might end my channel, not myself. It's not worth that. So, I play Captain Hawk, the commander of the Lexington.
All right.
Yeah, if anything bad happens, you can always come and hang out with me.
Necro.
The trash can.
I'm Necro. Czar also is my name. Places. I play Aligom, which is the security officer and a bird.
Yes, he is a bird. All right. And Zerlon.
Hey guys, I'm Zerlon. I'm playing Lieutenant Hank Lanford, the science officer. I just spent, I don't even know how many hours building a new rig for streaming board games, so look for me actually having a channel sometime fairly soon again. Maybe. We'll see. I got to replace webcams. Apparently, I'm using a new one tonight, which is why I actually look like I have color again. Apparently, 2 of my webcams have decided that one likes to film desaturated and one likes to film black and white. I don't know why.
Just put them together. Just layered on top. It'll be fine.
Well, the rig, my big PVC rig,
works, right?
it's going to have a microphone, this big ball. It's going to hang this big ball on it, as well as 3 lights and 3 cameras. So it's a crazy big old behemoth thing.
All right. Well, we are just going to start in with this. We are going to go start with the captain's logs, which will be read by our captain, Captain Hawk.
Captain's Log, Stardate 6419.0. After a month-long survey of the Alpha Doradis sector, Admiral Bana Stoker has ordered us to investigate the ruins of Pegasi V. The readings from the planet are similar to those from Bacchus IV, and Lieutenant Lanford believes that they may have been produced by the same ancient civilization. If this is true, then the extent of that civilization, which Admiral Stoker calls the tilikaal, must have been enormous. We're more than 1,000 light-years from Bacchus IV. The Admiral has requested planet-side investigation and detailed logs. This will require multiple landing parties, and I have had Commander Shelby and Lieutenant Lanford coordinate with Lieutenant Krrock to assemble a few such parties. I myself will be leading another team, mostly comprised with senior staff, which will coordinate as well as investigate. Hopefully, no more star systems blow up.
And what are our directives, Game Mom?
All right. Our directives right now are investigate the ruins on Pegasi V and determine whether or not they are, in fact, tilikaal in origin. You do have the Prime Directive active. However, this planet is not known to be inhabited, so it shouldn't come up. But maybe it will anyway.
That's
And
not
probably
a hint.
don't start war with the Klingons.
Well, yeah, don't start war with
No
the Klingons
promises.
is usually one of the directives that's just kind of out there. Like, don't start wars. It's just sort of a general Starfleet principle.
So it's more like the pirate code.
Yeah, it's a bit of a suggestion more than a rule, per se. But generally...
So what you're saying is I can start wars when I'm not playing Star Trek?
Only in...
I mean, we aren't going to be the ones to stop you.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop you
Right.
from starting a war. Yeah.
Well, I say war, more take over, but yeah, okay, no, just so I'm allowed. I've got your permission, right?
I mean, Craig, there's definitely some places that I think you do a better job at than running than any of the people who are currently running them.
No, they're just getting...
I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure this will not hold up in court.
It doesn't matter because Craig controls the courts now, so...
Okay.
It's like every time someone tells me, oh, that's not legal for Trump to do, it's like, well, it will be, so who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, define legal.
Yeah, legal is what
Trump
the courts
does.
allow, so...
Whatever, as long as you're not confusing legal with ethical, I don't care.
Oh, I never do that. Alright, so your ship comes out of warp near Pegasi V, and you are now approaching it at impulse speed. What are your orders, Captain?
Let's do a preliminary sweep of the system, Lieutenant Lanford, and then a directed sweep at the planet.
Alright, let me get a difficulty 0 reason and science check from Lieutenant Lanford. And the ship can assist with sensors and science as well.
The captain thinks I haven't already scanned this the second we came out of warp.
Look, I have to give orders, otherwise they don't pay me.
They don't pay you anyway.
I think at Starfleet we don't get paid.
Although the Starfleet officers always have some extra latinum to spend at Quark's bar, so like someone's giving them that latinum.
Wait, I'm not getting paid?
I
resigned my
imagine they're
commission?
fabricating it.
No, that's the whole point of latinum, is that you can't replicate it. So that's why it's valuable.
I love that episode where Quark got the 1,000 bars and found out that there was no latinum left in it.
It was
just
just
gold.
Useless
gold.
gold.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was just like crushing it in his hand. Look at that. That's not how gold works. I get that
No.
it's not got latinum, but that's not how gold works.
No, see, the gold was also neutron embrittled, just to make it crushable.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It had been crushed by a case of self-sealing stem bolts, I guess.
Oh, there you go.
Got all the latinum sucked out of it. Of course it got brittle.
And then the latinum was actually in Morn's stomach, wasn't it?
Second
Yep,
stuff,
Morn
yeah.
did keep his latinum in his own stomach, which is probably why he went bald.
His second stomach, not his first one.
Fair enough. All right, so you have managed to successfully scan, and you have found that, let's see, Pegasi V is the only planet that has much of interest on it. It is a Class L world with a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere, high levels of argon. The other planets around here are various, like, Class J, there's some Class S, and some Class D planets, and there is indications of a small biosphere on Pegasi V, which is probably why it has enough oxygen for you to breathe. But it does not seem to have any large life signs that might indicate megafauna or anything. And it is pretty dry.
No T-Rexes.
No T-Rexes. Only a few small streams and lakes, nothing that would constitute an ocean.
All right,
All right.
then I'll order the helm to put us in a standard orbit.
All right, that'll be a difficulty 0, control, and con, which can be assisted by the ship's engines and con.
Engines. Con.
I think Chanos, do you usually do the piloting when we don't have our pilot character pulled out of storage?
Yeah. Let me do that.
I mean, I can do it, but it feels weird for the captain to say, Con, takes an
Yeah.
orbit. Roger. You know?
Well, have you never been to like a fast food joint in the middle of the night where they like put your order in, shout it out, and then go back and make it?
Yeah. 2 double. Oh wait, that's me.
All right. Nice. 3 successes, huh? And did the ship get one?
I'm good at that.
No, it didn't.
No.
No.
Okay.
Bad ship.
Hey, you're still up to 5 momentum already, so, you know,
Woo.
don't feel too bad. All right, you are successfully in a standard orbit, which for those of you who might not know, who might be watching, that's basically just hovering at power. It's not even a real orbit. And yet it's the standard version of an orbit.
Why do we
It is
do the
the
worst,
same
least
way
efficient
in
orbit as
orbit.
standard?
Well, it's honestly...
It is the same way in orbit as Starfleet is not a military organization.
Right. So the reason
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
do it is because that way it is easier for like shuttle operations and transporter operations, so that you don't just like leave to the other side of the planet while stranding your crew on the other side, having transported down. That's why you do it.
Speaking
Yeah.
of transporting down, we should pull the senior staff into the conference room to discuss their plans for these many away teams we have to have.
All right.
Damn it,
Sounds
Captain!
like
I
a
was
good
just
idea.
about to beat my record for DDR with my 3 legs.
Shelby's busy playing pickleball.
That's cheating.
So the only thing that's actually super important in terms of who's going where is we're going to be focusing on the senior staff landing party for the course of the scenario. So we can assume for the background that there's a bunch of science types and engineering types and security types and the occasional like nurse or something wandering around the planet. Well, we're going to focus on who's on the senior staff focused thing, which does not mean that the whole senior staff has to be here. If you think that someone would be better replaced by a supporting character, we can do that. But what is going to be the composition of that coordination team?
Well, the captain's log said that I was going to be leading it, so I guess I'll be leading it.
For some reason.
I just, you know, sometimes Captain Hawk just makes decisions unconsciously while he's just reading his own captain's log out. It's just a thing that happens.
And then takes it as law, and that is it. It was stated, thus it is so.
It's like,
Oh wait, all right. What am I doing? I'll just go back to my log. Oh right, okay. That's
one
what
of these days I'm going to write a captain's log that's like, I am now beaming down into the lava planet completely naked.
Wearing only my Marks and Spencer slippers.
Guess we're
Yes.
doing naked captains now. No. Okay, yeah, so I think it's probably easier to just say who, if anyone, should stay on the ship and or wants to do a supporting character.
Well, I've now finished repairing all the stuff that you screwed my ship up at the starbase, so I'm free to come. However, Captain, that squeak on your captain's chair, I'm afraid I can't get rid of that.
Ship's fresh
He's
out
like
of WD-40.
fight inside some of your buttons.
Yeah. What I've done is I've actually inserted one of those devices to just beep randomly under your seat. What the fuck is that?
Alright, so does anyone want to go down to the planet while activating a supporting character rather than using their main cast character?
If not, then we'll just...
Looks like it's just the whole senior staff is going down as one landing party.
I would be willing to stay behind, but I also am the best person with a gun, so...
Well, if you don't come, who's going to be racist to people?
It's okay, we'll just send
If
the
we find
first,
green people-
second, and third, and fourth in command.
Yeah.
It's okay. Ensign
Well-
Doc has got that shift.
No,
He's
because
good.
He's fine.
Craig's the third.
It's a learning experience.
Craig is third in
Yeah.
command, so like you had to send the fourth, fifth, and sixth in command.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
It's me, then Chanos, then Shelby.
Right.
And I don't know, probably Tregan after that. I don't know who would be.
Depending on the scenario, it's also me and then you.
Yeah, that's
Options
true.
are complicated. They are generally not in the chain of command, but they are the one person who can relieve anyone off command.
Let's just put the ship on the ground.
Yeah, just fucking park it, guys.
It worked well last time.
Can you parallel
Yeah,
park this?
It worked.
never punished.
It worked poorly last time. It didn't just it didn't not work, but it didn't work well.
Fair, fair.
Can we get
Just
Shelby to
hover
install some
so we,
landing
like,
gear?
get close enough, we can just jump out.
We'll do some like spider leg landing gear so we can just walk the ship across the ground.
Bane of a communist society. If no one gets paid, you also don't get paid to do it well.
Little did you know, Shelby's been working to turn our ship into a Gundam the whole time.
Yeah.
The final episode, it just unfolds into a humanoid robot with big guns for arms.
It's
And we all
like
got to do the
those,
Power Rangers poses. It's a Zord.
It's like one of those moving cities from what's it?
Mortal
Yeah,
Engines.
Yeah. Just turned the ship into a mortal engine.
Nice.
Just eating smaller ships.
All right. Well, let's see. Do you plan to go down by transporter or shuttle? Your sensors so far have not indicated that there's any problem with beaming, but it's still up to you. Also, CJ Lamoureux has become a member at the ensign level. Thank you very much. Everyone, send some Star Trek or Starfleet insignia, some deltas.
Welcome aboard.
Clearly,
Ensign.
they are 4th or 5th in charge of the ship while we're gone.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so. Typically, we take shuttles to have that extra flexibility, but I feel like there's going to be plenty of shuttles buzzing around, so I think we should just beam this time.
So Dapper, was that you just struggling to say Star Trek insignias and not like tunicates?
Maybe.
Can I take some transport enhancers with me just in case, because you make me nervous?
You can if you spend some momentum on them.
Is there if
You
I
got
spend
some?
one momentum on to take some because you?
How much
make me
momentum
nervous?
is it?
Yeah,
To take a single set, it's just one momentum.
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Done.
Um,
Sounds easy.
there's also some other stuff, like if you wanted to take phaser rifles to the uninhabited planet, that would also be a momentum for each phaser rifle.
Well, I think maybe our security officer should. Or
I
those
don't
make
think we
sense.
need phaser rifles.
I don't either.
Plus, he sucks at shooting anyway. He's
Yes.
more of a punchy
Yeah,
bird.
yeah.
I like how the TNG phaser rifles are just Mark II phasers, but with a stock.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
so what are you getting out of this? Is it
Even
I mean,
even
technically
the
you
Mark
get some
II
stability,
phasers are
but
just a grip for the Mark I phaser, and then the rifle is.
Yeah, it's just an extremely fancy Mark I phaser. It's ridiculous. Actually, in game they do actually deal more damage, but like in the show, it doesn't make a lick of sense.
It looks cooler.
Bigger batteries.
Yeah, bigger battery. That could be it. You can fire longer, and it's slightly more stable for aiming.
look, it makes
Although they
more
don't have
sense than the
sights,
sniper
so-
rifle in Turok Evolution.
Well,
Oh, look, my pistol. I put a longer barrel in a scope. Now it reaches out way across the map.
yeah, everyone's pointing out it's the ability to aim. Yeah, that really is it. Except that they don't have sights, so
Mhm.
It makes sense. Don't worry about it.
all right. All right. So, here's the other thing: you're not sure where to beam down because no one did a close-up scan of the planet or spent any momentum on obtaining information on the previous long-range scan.
I
Well, you
did
know I'm
order.
going to scan that.
I did order Lanford to give me a detailed scan of the planet.
But he didn't actually do it yet.
Oh, well, that's going to be a reason in science.
Yes, it is.
Break.
Awesome. Let's spend momentum for an extra
Assisted by
die.
the ship. What?
All right.
If we landed like in the air or something, if we were transported in the air, I'd be fine. So it's fine.
All right.
Well,
So,
you can carry us, right?
Yeah, sure.
So there are 4 locations on the planet with signs of ruins. The largest concentration of ruins is approximately 20 degrees north of the equator. There are no power signatures on the surface of the planet, is what you learn with that successful check. I do have at least 2 more things you could learn if you spend momentum.
Well, let's spend a momentum and let's get some more information. I want to know more about these ruins.
Because of your
we have a
fancy
sensor
sensors.
system that gives you something for free.
Your fancy sensors make the first one free. So the ruins are made of rhyolitic rock that is not common on the surface of the planet. Also, there are no mortal life forms on the surface larger than 10 centimeters across that you can detect. And if you would like, you can spend 1 momentum or get your free one for being on camera there, Zeralon.
Well, let's get our free one here. Let's
There you
get
go.
some more information.
The ruins extend well under the surface of the planet, but it's not clear if this is because of erosion, piling sediment around the buildings, or if the ruins were built underground. Either way, there are transient signatures that may be signs of artificial power generation deep underground.
Interesting. I will relay that information to our captain.
All right. Well, the most important stuff always happens at the biggest spot, so we'll go to the largest concentration of ruins.
I want to check out those power systems you said about.
And yeah, we'll try to find out where those power systems are coming from. Well, we'll coordinate other people doing it, but in reality, we'll just end up doing it.
Yeah.
You know, look, you guys are the most experienced people at your jobs. You're going to be the best at it anyway.
Yeah, and
Plus, since
someone has to check out that big amalgamation of corporalite, and that's better not be me.
yeah. Also, because none of you are the just for this episode historian, none of you are likely to fall for Space Hitler.
Space Hitler.
Could any of us become Space Hitler?
I mean, you'd have to be a different Space Hitler.
Cool.
Okay.
Starfish Space Hitler?
Alright, so, you guys...
In the Mirror Universe, was Hitler like a really nice guy or something?
You know, that's a good question, because originally the departure point was supposed to be Zephram Cochrane shooting the Vulcans at first contact, but now that's apparently changed, and now the humans have always been, like, biologically different or some crap because of Discovery deciding to just shit all over the continuity.
But if you look at the intro credits, when it shows the history of, and then it does the Mirror Universe episode, it shows the history being a lot more violent for when they're in the Mirror Universe in general. I think in the Mirror Universe, humans are just a bit more of a dick.
But are the opening credits canon to the show? Because the Voyager never flew over that tiny little, like, 3-kilometer gas giant.
Not that we saw.
Good point.
That could have been on Harry Kim's night shift.
I actually saw a video where they did, like, trigonometry to reconstruct the size of that planet, and it was, like, the smallest ever planet.
Yeah.
Alright. So, you guys can beam down. We're going to switch scenes, which puts your momentum down to 4.
Oh, no.
Alright. So,
Jesus, can you hear that rain?
the rain? No, I can't.
Oh, good.
No.
The noise cancelling is working.
Alright, so your team is coordinating all the other teams, but you guys are also investigating one of the structures that goes down into the ground. The landscape around you is a bunch of sort of rust-colored rocks with what looks like wadis over there, the area. So basically there might be seasonal rains that come in here. The ruins themselves are, like we said, made of rhyolitic rock that's been cut to look like it's made of, like, squarish bricks, but it's actually not. That's just an incised, like, pattern. The structure itself is actually seemingly just solid rhyolite. And,
Seems familiar.
okay, I'm now realizing people might not know. So rhyolite is what happens when lava that would normally turn into granite cools very quickly, and so the crystals can't get big enough to become granite.
Yeah, obviously, duh.
Yeah, everyone. I mean,
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
What didn't you study rocks at school?
look, everyone.
Don't look at
Everyone
me. I only
knows.
do a volcano show every month.
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
everyone knows
minerals.
that when rhyolitic magma is formed
Right.
intrusively, it turns into granite, and when it forms extrusively into rock, it turns into rhyolite. So now we all are on the same page.
Well, what else you
I
talk
learned
to
that from the
relatives
Dapper
about on,
Dinosaur
like-
channel.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
what else you talk to your relatives about at the gatherings? Obviously, about the magma
Rocks.
flows and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
And plutonium halos and stuff.
we should add that to the Flurf litmus test. What kind of rock does granite lava turn into if it forms extrusively? No one will
Okay,
get it.
first
Level.
off, you just used the word extrusively to a flat earther, and you're
Exactly.
gonna need to stop.
All right, so basically the structure has a flat platform and it has a few little bits that stick out that you're not sure what they're for, but there is in fact a large opening that heads down into the ground.
How convenient.
If
Oh,
we
the-
have learned something from the last 2 encounters, punching the door will open it.
Well, there isn't a door. It just goes down. There's a
It's
tunnel.
just a tunnel? Okay.
You can punch the
Lieutenant
air.
Krrock, lead the way. Be prepared to punch any walls in our way.
could we maybe like scan first before we go down?
You did
Well,
that.
I operate on the assumption that Lanford is just perpetually scanning at all directions at all times.
Until he
Oh,
tells
yeah.
me that, unless he tells me he is and takes a task at my direction, you don't learn anything from the scanning.
No, I am scanning every time I can scan. I'm like,
All right.
oh hey, this rock is slightly different colored. Scan.
Well, in that case, I'm going
It
to need
takes us
a
7 years to get anywhere.
difficulty 2 insight and science check from you, Lanford.
I will take up the rear guard.
All right. Hey, that's a success.
Nice.
All right. So let's see. There is in fact a power signature below the surface that you can detect from here.
Okay, I want to go check out
Alright.
that power.
Do you want
signature.
to obtain any information?
Yeah, let's obtain some information. Let's see if I can figure out the nature of this power source.
All right. So you are unable to figure out the nature of the power source, but you do notice something unusual about the rhyolite, which is that it does not match the isotopic ratio of the rocks from this planet.
Oh, weird. Captain, I'm reading some really interesting readings on this rhyolite here. Looks like it might not be native to this planet. Isotopes are reading quite a bit different here.
Funky rocks, always
Interesting.
fun.
So it's imported material.
A solid chunk of imported rhyolite, as far as you can tell.
Feels kind
I
of
mean,
wasteful.
Didn't we
No
learn
accounting
Might-
for taste.
Might
Didn't we
it
learn that the weird
be-
society that built these things made stuff from like
Yeah.
other planets?
Might
Wasn't
might
that a
it
thing?
maybe not be imported in the way of brought here but made artificially in some way or something?
All interesting thoughts, and yes, Krrock is correct. You did learn that at least on Bacchus IV, the structures there had been just pulled out of a local moon and shoved onto the planet.
That
Are we able to
be
see
another
if
thing, yeah.
there's anything, the rocks that aren't native to the planet, are they native to the solar system from anywhere around here? Can we tell
You
that?
don't have a detailed enough scan of the isotopic ratios of all the other planets, so it's possible that they do match that of a different planet or moon in the system, but you don't have that data yet. But that is something that you could store away for later when you are on your way out, and you could swing by some of the other planets and moons and whatnot.
Yeah, I think we
That-
should try
that
and figure out.
is
how
another
far they
thing
could
with what we found out on Bacchus IV is if transported here doesn't necessarily mean they mined it somewhere and put it in a cargo hold and shipped it here. They might just have done some weird physics mumbo jumbo.
Jillian, some guy on a boat at Alren, says mud fossil U intensifies.
Yes.
Hey, this cave that goes into the ground, that's a vagina!
Yeah, it's actually,
this
that's what it is.
complex was built overground and then it got mud flooded.
Flat Aquatic Jesus, like, I told you they dug it out of the Grand Canyon.
He said mud flooded, not mud blooded. He's very specific about his slurs.
Alright, so now that you have scanned it, I assume you are going to proceed down with Krrock going first?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm already like a couple steps in when I realized nobody was following me.
You're like, guys!
I'll still bring up the
Sorry,
rear.
we're busy scanning rocks.
Hey, scanning rocks is a lot of what Starfleet does.
Oh yeah.
I just got out my tricorder and I'm just heading towards that power signature.
Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull out my nice bag of
Whoa,
dice.
careful with the next word.
And
Nice.
he's going
Got
to.
the- I've got my sack
12
here.
Threat.
Nice skin sack. I'm gonna massage it a little bit.
The back of
Mine is Chainman.
Wait, is this
Because
a Nathan Oakley stream?
I'm gonna
Putting out
grab
your skin snack.
this
Where's that
right
dice
here.
bag?
This was gifted to me by Anne Gladstone. It's a Call of
Mine's
Cthulhu
knocked on.
dice.
Ooh, beautiful.
Nice set. So I'm going to number all of you, starting with Chesh at 1 and ending with Zeralon at 6. And I have rolled a 1.
It's me.
As you're descending
the
down,
Goblin Queen.
a burst of energy erupts from one of the walls, hitting Tregan for
Oh, gelatinous cube.
8 stress.
Holder.
Ow.
Ow.
I don't know what that is.
Jesus, what?
My face.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an injury
Doctor,
unless you
wait,
want to
hold on.
avoid it.
Why would you choose not to avoid it? That always.
Because maybe you want to save the
Because
momentum or your
We are not
determination.
in combat, and it's 2 momentum that could be spent for something else.
Fucking ow.
Would you? Well, Tregan, you're either unconscious or you avoid the injury.
I will point out that none of us is good at medicine.
Yeah, I'm gonna
avoid
go
the injury.
unconscious
We
because
need
I think that's funnier.
we need a
Come on,
healer.
guys.
Damn it.
Well, we're all dead.
All right,
You
so
got this. I believe in you. Poof! Ah.
Zeralon, your tricorder is picking up residual anti-muons.
Interesting.
Oof,
Anti-muons.
Yeah, they're positively charged.
that sounds
You
painful.
be
That's not
aware
normal.
that I do have a science tricorder that one of you could pick up.
Okay, well, hold on. So Tregan is actually unconscious then.
Yeah, she has
All
taken
right.
9 points of damage, and she is currently on the ground in a crumpled heap of 3 legs and 3 arms.
Then
I
the
got
captain,
cracked in the head.
And possibly
The
the most
captain-
complicated bra in the galaxy, but we haven't really figured that out yet.
What I'm concerned is, how do we do a fireman's carry? Which limbs do I grab?
all of them. So Captain Hawk's priority is going to be getting Tregan to medical attention.
Yeah,
So-
okay, so
My
I'm-
medicine is very bad, but I have a thing that I could use if
Well, hey,
I need to.
if you want to try and treat her in the field to at least get her stable, she's not going to die, but to get her back on her feet, it'll be a difficulty 2 daring or control and medicine check.
Lanford,
My control is
are you
very
any
good.
good?
My medicine is
I
good.
would have a 13.
That's good.
Same 13.
I only have a total of 12.
sorry, what are we looking at? For what?
Daring or control plus medicine.
No, I've got 8. Wait.
You do also
11
have
at
3
the
points of momentum. You could just get
Yeah.
2 extra dice.
I can do it with. We want to do 1 extra dice or 2 extra dice?
Can I help him?
Yeah, I'll let you help him.
Okay.
Then I'll do 1 extra die.
All right, it's difficulty 2. Here we go. All right.
Oh, I hope you help. Oh, hey.
Huzzah!
All right, so that is just enough. And Dr. Tregan, you can come back to consciousness. You are very sore. It is not a good day.
Fucking ow.
Doc, are you you alright?
Can
I
I tricorder scan myself?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, with my science. Do I roll for that? What am I rolling?
use
No,
the
you can
Band-Aids
just
with
check
the
it,
fuzzy
and,
bears
like,
on it.
you
They work
are-
better.
You've got some radiation burns, and you're expecting to need a dermal regenerator in the next few days.
Yeah.
Doc, shall I,
Overall,
we're
you're
supposed to have
okay.
our weekly checkup later. Shall I postpone it? Are you going to be okay?
I'll be fine.
You need
Okay,
to be
cool.
evacuated back to the ship, Doctor.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Okay,
Well-
right. So you said there were anti-muons, right?
Yes, but as you're investigating that, a low electrical hum is picking up in the chamber.
Okay, well, so
we should-
anti-muons can be created by, something like decaying or from the stars, but the main
How
thing that
big
would
is this
create
chamber?
it would be like a particle accelerator or something.
This chamber is about, let's see, like about 8 meters by 8 meters by 2.5 meters.
Is there an exit to this chamber that we can see?
Yeah. You
So
can keep
I say
going.
we leave the death chamber.
Yeah, we should go.
But you
Yeah.
took too long, and now suddenly all of you find yourself not in the chamber anymore, having transported. And you are in fact on what appears to just be a transporter pad, and it has open windows on 2 walls. And as you look out, you realize that you're on some kind of asteroid, and there's a galaxy on what is your subjective down direction that is just spread out in front of you, taking up most of like the bottom half of the sky from your perspective.
Now, when you say a galaxy, do you mean our galaxy?
Would you recognize your galaxy from the outside if you saw it?
Lieutenant Lanford might.
We know we exist in a spiral galaxy with 3 arms.
This,
So
well, I will say this is a barred spiral galaxy with 3 arms. It might be the Milky Way.
okay. How big is its galactic core?
This big.
Right. So it might be,
I read about
hey,
an old historical way to deal with on-field injuries while I was studying medicine back in the day, and it was rub some dirt in it.
Hey, right, Captain. I don't know if you've noticed, but the stars have kind of changed.
I open
Yes.
my communicator and try to hail the Lexington.
It indicates that the Lexington is not in range.
That's not good.
Also,
Captain,
you.
we
when you
are
reached-
pretty far away.
when you reach down for your communicator, you notice that your phaser was also not there.
That is also very bad.
I have my communicator.
That's
Do
right.
we have our
Is
tricorders?
there anybody
Yes.
receiving? Is there anybody
Because-
receiving?
Nope, no answer.
Without phasers, we're still at 95% combat capability.
Is my sword still there?
Yeah, you know what? Yes, your Ushan is still there, although to call it a sword is a bit of a stretch, given that it's about this big with a little spike.
Okay,
It's more a dagger, yeah.
All right,
Kinda.
so we're on a teleporter pad. What else is there in this room?
Well, Captain, based on our position, I think we've traveled about 200,000 light years.
That is an impressive amount of teleportation.
So there is a door at the opposite end of the room from the window. Or windows, I guess. The windows themselves seem to be transparent aluminum, in case you're wondering.
Does
As far
the
as I know-
architecture of the room resemble anything we've seen?
It does look like the architecture that you saw in Bacchus IV, although it all seems to be made out of metal rather than just stone.
I'm gonna get off the
Captain-
teleporter pad.
Yeah, let's not be
Captain,
standing
if
on
we-
the random teleporter pad.
If we've been transported this far, then we're dealing with a species of technology way beyond our own. Even with my best calculations, I couldn't get the Lexington transporter to take us anywhere near anything like a light year, and we've traveled a galaxy away by the looks of it. Assuming that's the Milky Way below us, it could be another barred spiral galaxy.
Well, this is great news because the Admiral ordered us to find an advanced civilization. So here we are.
Well,
Things
Captain,
are going according to plan.
We to be fair, Captain, I don't think we found a
Calculated.
civilization. We appear to have just found their technology. I don't think there's anyone around to be able to scan for any life forms.
Before we scan for life forms, I am adding a new directive. Find a way home.
Weird.
Sounds useful.
But I was just choosing a new room in this shiny building.
God,
Look,
I'm gonna
you can
track
challenge the
everyone's
directive. You're allowed to.
assholes.
Yes.
But that's
I mean-
challenging the directive.
Home is where the crew is.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Well, we're only like a small percentage of the crew anyway. We need to get back to the rest of it.
Very
Well,
good point, Krrock.
The
Extended
clue is where the
family.
command staff is.
Well, we're not finding anything in this teleporter pad, so let's head on out
No.
and
Yeah. I
hey,
go to the door to see if it's
Yeah, no. Before anybody approaches the door, we already know there's death lasers. I am scanning the crap out of this.
All right, so
Okay.
the door does not open. And
But I remember, I wanted to scan for life forms. Are we able to do that first?
all right, well, as you scan, I would like a insight and engineering check.
Insight engineering.
because this might just be a jail.
All right, so that gives you a momentum because you only need one. So there's a few things. One is, so you are able to determine that there are life signs on board, but the metal is causing some interference, so you can't figure out exactly what kind of life signs or how many, but there are diffuse life signs in a wide swath, sort of like below you and around. In addition to the door being locked, the transporter pad does not seem to have any scanners that would allow for a return trip. So it seems like it has receivers from wherever it is you teleported from, but it does not have any scanners or Heisenberg compensators or any of the things that would be needed to activate it for a return trip.
Hey, Captain, a couple of things. First off, I've done a scan, and there does appear to be life forms. The metal's causing some interference, and I can't see exactly where, but based on what I'm getting, there's a lot of them, and they're all around us. Also, I've had a wee look at this transporter, and it's just a receiver. We couldn't use this unless we brought a Heisenberg compensator with us. We couldn't use this transporter pad to get back. It doesn't have the components we need. So
yeah, maybe
we're gonna...
maybe they've got an outgoing and an ingoing for such large distances.
You're telling me that there are life forms all around us.
Yes.
Then we don't need to go home because our directive is to find those life forms. Everything's falling into place, Commander.
That's technically not one of the directives, by the way.
Can I roll an insight check to see if our captain is like huffing copium right now?
Nope, that's just a judgment call on your part. If you think he is, he is.
What the captain is doing is staying positive and appearing in control in a dangerous situation. You know,
Everything's
like a
fine.
leader.
I think I'm just gonna be like,
Captain, why-
Captain, I think you might be overdoing it a little.
The whippings
Captain's
will
grinding
continue
his
until
teeth.
morale
We
improves.
can actually hear the captain grinding his teeth while he's going, everything's okay.
Yeah. Look,
All right.
If you've been, how many times have you been? Raise your hand if you haven't been abducted by an alien civilization, right? I mean, come on, this happens all the time.
So
That's
not
as you're
abducted.
discussing the abduction, the door starts to open, and a humanoid creature with what looks like hedgehog spikes for hair and patches of scutes on his cheekbones and jaw approaches. He's wearing an ornate
Patches of what?
scutes.
Yeah, what the fuck is that word?
what
Scutes.
Dapper has on his back.
Scutes are a dermal structure that resemble scales but have a bony core rather than just a keratinous core.
I swear to God, if the door opens and Sonic the Hedgehog or Shadow the Hedgehog walk in, I'm leaving.
I'm going to watch that movie tomorrow. So,
But
no
what if
spoilers.
it's Amy Rose?
Oh,
Then
God.
I'm taking it. I'm taking her
Then
hammer
I'm
and
doing more.
squishing.
Then I'm attacking Dapper. I'm leaving to go to Dapper's house.
DM Wing knows what scutes are. He's very excited to see the scutes. Anyway,
Right now I know what scutes are. Sorry.
Well, you
So-
gotta love them. They have the word "cute" right in it.
Yeah.
you can't spell scute without cute. So this creature is wearing an ornate golden robe with symbols that seem somewhat familiar to you, and on his head is a crown that seems to be made of twisted copper wire. He raises his arms, tipped with four-fingered hands, pointed up, and then spreads them to his left and right and says, "Welcome to Habitation, messengers. I am High Curate Meheron. We have been faithful in awaiting you. Please follow me. A feast is being prepared. The harpists are tuning their instruments, the censers are blazing, and your places at the high table are already set." As he says this, you notice the pleasant smell of a plant resin wafting from behind him, and you can just make out two other members of his species with metal balls on chains that are emanating streams of smoke beyond the door.
Do I recognize the smell of the smoke of what, like, if they're a herb or if they're like...
So it is some kind of plant resin, and it's not a species you're familiar with. Smells nice,
Alright.
though.
Well,
Space-
congratulations, Captain.
Space
You might make Admiral.
You shut your mouth, Dr. Tregan.
I'm going. I'm assuming both of us
Yeah.
are going.
Yeah. So to the High Curate, I'll introduce myself as the captain of the Lexington and introduce my crew and say, there may have been some confusion. I don't believe we don't usually refer to ourselves as messengers.
Oh, that's not important. You came through in the room for the messengers that's been sealed for thousands of years. Clearly, you're the messengers.
So about that, hi, Commander Shelby here.
Oh, hello.
How does that work? Because this is technology I've not seen before.
Oh, we're just stewards here in Habitation. We didn't design it.
I thought so. Could I speak to the person in charge, please?
Oh, that would be me.
Yeah, no, can I speak to your boss?
No, that's me.
Oh. And you don't know anything?
Is Commander
Well,
Karen over here?
I know that we have been waiting for more messengers to come through for thousands of years.
Come on, Shelby, calm down. They might have some interesting alien liquor.
We might
You do
even
know
find out how they
that-
bone.
Our society considers it rude to just abduct people from where they were.
Well, we also consider that rude.
Well, you realize we have just been abducted from where we were.
No, you're messengers. Don't be silly.
I think this might be a misunderstanding. We should go with them and find out more before we have any harsh judgments.
I'll say to them that we would, though we are not certain where the messengers are looking for, we would be overjoyed to join them at their feast. And then to my crew, I'll say, "This is first contact, so just."
Are we allowed to break the Prime Directive?
It's not clear how much of the Prime Directive applies right now.
I would assume if they can teleport us several 100,000 light years, they've mastered warp travel.
Yeah, but they
What
said
if
they
they-
would
How
make
it works.
They didn't
Like
do that
the-
part of the tech tree. They just avoided that completely.
Yeah.
like the last ancient civilization that we contaminated, it might not have been them, but their caretakers for which they mistook us right now. So
I would also like to point out.
technically,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
I was-
I'd also like to point out that usually, if a civilization reaches out specifically to ask for assistance from a warp-capable species, that usually means that while they might not have developed warp travel per se, they're capable enough of doing like subspace transmissions and whatnot. That usually it's okay to contact them in that case. And these people, if they did transport you, at least know enough about subspace to do like galaxy-spanning transport. So chances are the Prime Directive doesn't super apply.
Yeah, it's not like we can't speak to the queue because they don't have warp travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think technically it hasn't come up in Star Trek, but if a race had a way to do interstellar travel without warp drive, that would not apply to the Prime Directive then.
All right. Well, as you're debating the Prime Directive, you are led in a new scene into a large feast hall, and it's full. Large feast hall. It's about half full of tables, and there's a loft above the main floor, and there are harps playing calming music, and there are vents in the floor that waft up the same sort of incense that you were smelling earlier that the two guys had in their sensors. And High Curate Meharon ushers you up to a table on a platform above all the other tables.
Hey, Captain, I'm part human, and I recognize that instrument. That's a harp.
Lieutenant Lanford and Dr. Tregan, do you know how common this instrument is in the galaxy? Is this a case of divergent or convergent evolution?
It's a stick with strings, Captain.
Yeah, it's a hoop with strings. It would be a fairly common idea to come up with. How similar to like an Earth harp do these appear?
I mean, enough that you'd recognize them as harps, but like they don't look like they were manufactured on Earth or anything.
There we go.
I'm going to use my medical tricorder and see if I can scan up some of this food and this air and be like, what's going on here?
All right, give me.
I'm going to try not to be obnoxious about it, though.
Give me
We're messengers. We can do what we want.
I asked you, is it safe to eat? I'm hungry.
Give me a difficulty 2 insight and medicine check.
2 difficulty medicine. Sorry, medicine and what?
Insight.
Insight. All right. I don't think any, unless historical medicine or infiltration would apply.
Historical medicine does apply.
Yeah. Focus on. Let's go.
I don't like the fact that the food is so old that historical medicine works.
It's not the food, that's the reason.
I
It's
would
the
also
incense.
like to burn a momentum, if I could, please.
Well, you can't, but you can give me a threat.
Oh, never mind then. Fuck you.
It's more fun when I have threat, and now you failed.
Yeah. If you give him enough threat, then the food can be poisonous.
Wait, I'm on camera. Do I get a free success?
No, but you get a free immediate momentum spend if you had a success.
Yeah.
Can I scan for any power sources or anything in this room?
Yeah, but I'm gonna let you know that you're not finding anything other than like what's powering the lights and the gravity plating.
Okay.
So they're not electric harps.
No, there's people actually playing the harps of the same
I'm
species.
obsessed with the harps. They're in C. What the hell?
So, let's see.
Hey, scan boy.
So,
Should scan.
I'm sorry. It was only difficulty 1. I misread my notes. So you do actually know.
Yeah.
So the incense has a very mild sedative effect that basically just kind of keeps everyone a little bit less agitated than they might otherwise be. But you're not going to like get high on it unless you're just sitting there at the vent, constantly inhaling.
Are you telling me
Hell
this thing's
yeah.
Yeah, technically you're being hotboxed in like the lowest level possible way.
Yeah. Well, Captain,
officer comes
seems
along.
to be.
Hi, how
this
are you?
seems to be
How
part
are
of a
you?
calming
Also,
scenario. It may or may not be related to a plant on Earth used to go by weed.
So the food itself is absolutely safe. There's no toxic chemicals that you can detect.
Food safe, Shelby.
And if anything, it's actually quite nutritious. And you also realize that it's all actually vegan. There are no identifiable animal products. There's no meat. There's nothing that could be...
There's no meat here.
High Curate Meharon says, we do not have the resources to maintain herd animals for meat. Our hydroponics bays grow all of our food.
I'm actually quite impressed. This is a well-balanced meal.
Oh, I'm well-balanced.
We are still on an asteroid, Commander Shelby.
Commander Shelby, are you familiar with the phrase "when in Rome"?
Rome served pancetta ham.
Follow the spirit of the phrase, please.
Wrapped around a date. probably.
I'm going to go ahead and sit down.
So yeah, we'll sit down and eat.
So there are various dishes. It's generally actually pretty good. There's some savory, mildly spicy stuff. There's a little bit of stuff that's a little bit peppery, or some sweet, subtle melony flavored things. There's water, juice, and some kind of wine that you don't recognize what the wine is, but it's rather palatable. And there's actually a variety of wines that can meet various people's tastes. Some of it's drier, some of it's more floral, some of it's fruitier or sweeter, and so there's a selection that you can try. And you do seem to be
you know that Tellarites don't get drunk; they just get fighty.
That's true, but also you're under the mild sedative effects of the incense.
And you're human, half human. So.
Yeah.
And
So you're
we're
drunk.
also under orders, and we should probably take it easy since we're still on the clock.
Yes.
All right.
Take it easy. This is my third.
So, as you're eating and drinking, and it really is quite good. For one thing, it's not resequenced protein, which is what you've been eating for pretty much every meal for months now. So it's at least that.
My resequenced protein
Quite
steak.
nice, actually.
It's not multicolored food cubes.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's not Poke Blocks.
I
Did you
I
see
still give
Volpix?
Shelby 20 minutes before he shanks someone over the vegan haggis.
Volpix says, initiate Dr. Tregan's thirst contact protocols.
How did you smash though?
So what are we looking like? What are these guys?
They're
a species. Yeah, there's a species. It's a species you've not encountered before.
So Hawk is going to engage the High Curate in conversation and ask, how long they've been there and what they're trying to dig into their history.
Oh well, we've been here. We are the Covenant, and we covenanted to stay here while seeking enlightenment and waiting for messengers. Which you're the first messengers to come in living memory, and it's not clear how long we've been here. Some of our records from our earliest times are sadly in the lower levels of habitation.
And where is here exactly?
Habitation.
Yep, but
I meant in the galaxy.
Oh, this is beyond the galaxy. We're orbiting
galaxy?
the one below us. What do you?
I just want to check it's our own galaxy.
You made a covenant. A covenant with whom?
Oh, with each other. To seek enlightenment.
To do how?
Well, we do have meditation practices. We burn sacred incenses. We contemplate the teachings of various messengers who come through.
Maybe you don't understand me, my friend. How did you get here?
Well, like I said, our oldest records are no longer available to us because they're in the lower levels. But we presume that we might have come through the chamber of the messengers where you came from.
So you're messengers then?
Well, we're the Covenant. But our legends tell us that we were promised that we would receive messengers from time to time. And we do still have records of previous groups of messengers who've come.
What kind of message should we be carrying?
That I don't know yet. You will reveal it when you are ready.
And what happened to the last messengers?
They left.
How?
Oh.
How did they leave?
That's good news.
Sounds good.
Against our advice, they went into the lower levels of the station.
And they didn't return.
And never returned.
I see. That's less good news.
Sounds like we might be needing to go to some lower levels here.
Well, either way, it's time for my sermon. So you'll have to excuse me while I deliver the word to all of the gathered Covenant.
Oh, I'm here for this.
Karen, he doesn't seem that excited considering we're the first messengers in their living memory.
Yeah, that's because there's calming stuff all over the shit.
Yeah, he's
sedated.
It's true. He is physically sedated.
I don't know how weed would affect a Tellarite.
That is a good question. We should look into that. This should be a new research project. All right, in the chat, find out how weed would affect a Tellarite, and if you want to, you can just super chat to see how weed affects a Tellarite.
Right.
I already tried to use my super chatting.
Metabolism, and this means that they could break down the THC a lot quicker, so probably wouldn't get stoned.
Unless it was really high
Good thing you're
concentration.
half human and cyborg.
Yeah, I already tried to debate the chat in the super chats. There's a fat cat right there. I could grab it. I told the chat if they super chat, I will grab the fat cat and I will rub his belly right here on camera.
There you go.
But
Although
I'd like-
They don't love him.
Tellarites like the finer things and nice smells, they would probably like weed because of the smell of it and have a lot of it. So I probably would get stoned.
Remind me, can our tricorders like record audio?
Sure.
They
Okay,
can.
I'm gonna task Lieutenant Krrock with recording the sermon for posterity since it's
I
first contact.
actually was going to say something similar, so yeah,
Nice.
I'll do that.
As the sermon is going on, it just kind of keeps on going, and you're not sure that you're really understanding most of it. There's all sorts of like
Jargon.
and theological terms, and you're just like,
So
sure.
a sermon then.
Yeah, but as it's going, one of the other members of the species, while everyone is just staring at Meharon, comes up to the side of the table, and while you're not positive, you do notice that there seems to be two basic like morphologies here, and this one looks like maybe this one's the female version of the species. And she says, I'm Balak, and I was wondering if you could tell me how you guys got here. I don't really buy into all this.
Hi, Block. We came through that one-way transporter that doesn't seem to have a return function.
Right, that's what we call the Chamber of the Messengers. Where did you come from before that, though?
Do I still have burns and shit on my face?
But they don't know if that's normal or not. Maybe that's just how you look.
Yeah.
We
They
came
don't
from
know your
Pegasi
species.
V, so that probably doesn't tell you
Yeah.
anything.
We came from we belong to a federation of species within the galaxy. We were near the Beta Quadrant, the section we would call the Beta Quadrant or galaxy, which I think is about 200,000 light years from here.
Oh, so you came from the galaxy.
Well, we think
the
we assume
thing-
so.
Okay,
The
and
thing in the window. We saw it from the window.
let me guess, you don't actually have a message, do you?
I
Well,
do.
we have lots of information,
all sorts of
but
messages.
we weren't exactly told to come here.
Right, you didn't
No.
come here to deliver a message.
No. So
No.
what happened was we entered a chamber. There was a loud hum, and then we were here.
After I got blasted in the face.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
that's so.
I may or may not be a little crabby right now. I apologize.
Well, I don't know anything about getting blasted in the face. But, I don't think it was us.
I don't think so either.
Okay. So, what were you doing when you got transported here?
We were investigating ruins on a planet, ruins built by an extremely advanced civilization.
That makes
Appears to be
sense.
the same
Yeah, I don't
people
Similar.
who built.
There's definitely similarities between the place we were and here.
Yeah, I don't think my people built this place.
We don't think that either.
So
Yeah.
I couldn't really get anything from the other guy. Maybe you are more sensible. How long have you been here?
That's the thing. We're not sure, but it seems to at least have been a few tens of thousands of years.
Well, no, I mean, were you
Well-
born here?
Oh yeah, we were all born
Yeah,
here.
how
All of us were born here.
how couple questions.
how'd you
Biological in
smash?
nature.
Uh-oh.
Biological in nature.
About that being born, how did that work?
How long is your lifespan?
I mean, it varies a bit, but we usually can last about 80 to 110 cycles.
A cycle being
It's about a year, but that's out of game.
Right.
all right. And
What?
do you
These
do you
People,
reproduce one at a time, two at a time?
Most births are single births.
Single births. All right. So and general pairings, I assume.
Yes.
Well, that means that at the population rate here, can I get like a judge of like how many of you are there?
Well,
Dapper has to do like a full population workup for every character he
Yeah.
picks up.
so
Yeah.
among the Covenant, we're about 500 total. We're not all here. There are many vital
Right. And
functions.
is there anybody is there anybody who's not part of
Well-
the Covenant who is here?
There are the heretics in the lower level. We don't know how many of them there are.
Understood. Yeah, Captain, that's a little bit weird being around here for 10,000 years, only having 500 of your species.
We keep the population relatively steady
How?
by having a determined breeding plans.
Oh, you have sex days.
Well,
What happens
we more
is-
have we have permission for reproduction, and then
Let's. As interesting as this discussion is, let's redirect. Are there other people who are like you that don't fully accept
The
message?
heretics that live downstairs in the basement.
well, look, among the Covenant, there's always been varying degrees of how much we care about the spiritual aspects of living on habitation versus the more practical aspects. And so among the farmers and the engineers and whatnot, levels of piety are usually lower. I fancy myself something of a scholar who usually have pretty high levels of piety. I'm a bit weird. Also, Borg Emporia has joined the channel at the ensign member level, so welcome to the channel memberships, Borg Emporia.
Oh, no, we don't. We can't have a Borg as
Too
part
late.
of the shit. Oh fuck, we're screwed.
Ensign Borg
No.
Emporia,
We welcome all species in Starfleet.
even the ones
Well,
that are going to
now-
assimilate you.
Yeah. There is
we
no
do have
Starfleet
a pretty
anymore. It's the
eclectic crew.
Look, you know what? If Starfleet can recover from that time that everyone under, like, 25 or whatever was partially assimilated, I'm sure one Borg drone isn't going to be too much of a problem.
Plus 7 of 9. There's already precedent. Not at this point in the timeline, but, in
Yeah.
the broader.
What if this Borg is called Hugh?
Temporal grammar. There will have been a precedent that will become.
Is.
Time travel, man. Time travel.
Yeah.
All right, but do you have any other questions for Balak?
We should probably see if we can speak to the scholars, Captain, and the
I
engineers.
had one more question. Was how do you get to the lower levels?
There are sealed off tunnels that lead down there. But that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. Power has been fluctuating every once in a while, and what schematics I can recover from the internal computer systems indicate the fusion cores in the lower levels.
Okay.
Wait, you've got computer systems. Okay, I want to check those out.
Well,
I'm more concerned with the fact they have a fusion core that apparently nobody's done maintenance on in a while.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to check out the computer
Yeah.
systems to see if I can access
At this
the,
time, the sermon seems to be winding down. Balak looks up at Meharon and says, I should probably go sit back down. And Meharon draws
be in
his
touch.
sermon to a
Talk to
close
you later.
and looks over towards you and says, Now, honored guests, it is time for you to retire to your chambers while you prepare your message for us. And we will await that time until you are ready. So if you would please follow me.
Of course.
I'll follow him, but I'll clarify. Are we confined to these chambers, or are we allowed to mingle with the people in
As you're
habitation?
asking this and following Meharon, you're noticing that a bunch of guys with ceremonial pole arms are forming around your flanks. He says, "You will be confined, but only for your own safety. Heretics have been known to attack messengers historically."
Oh.
But
I
you
don't
said the
think
heretics are in lower levels, so we should be fine up here, right?
Well, they do occasionally raid the upper levels.
I think in
There.
order to tailor the message for the needs of habitation, I'll need to familiarize myself with its people.
Don't worry about that. Your message has already been given to you by those above, and I'm sure you'll be able to figure out the right way to give it to us when the time is ready.
that is a really good bullshit line. I ain't gonna lie.
We will try our best.
And so you come to a rather large and well-appointed room, but that has a single door around which are posted a few guards with pole arms. And there's a control pad for the door on the outside. There is not one on the inside. And so High Curate Meharon
Interesting.
gestures graciously at the room and says, "This is your room, and if you need anything, any food or drink, let us know."
Can we request someone come in with us?
I need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, there's a
You
bathroom in the
should
room.
clarify that request.
Oh, where'd Craig go? Craig, come
God
back.
damn, Elon internet.
I
He went to
forget
flee.
What was the name of the lady that was talking to us?
Balak.
We were speaking with someone named Balak. Could they join us in our quarters?
When were you doing that? No, just don't worry. This has been prepared for you to get your message ready for us. There's writing implements. There are couches, beds. There are dishes in case you want to eat. You have a bathroom in there. There are places for you to wash. It's fine.
Sorry,
All
I dropped out for a second there because Starlink decides to update when it wants. What did I miss for the last 2 minutes?
Basically, you're
Nothing.
being put in a very fancy cage.
Right.
And being told we can only come back out once we give them the message.
Right.
I think so. I think that while I'm not a super fan of being put in this cage, trying to break out now while they're on their guard with a bunch of halberds is probably not ideal.
Could we just try?
They're
giving the
actually
message I've got?
flamberges.
Let's
So,
Hawk
get into the room
says
and
they're halberds because he's not a historian.
okay, so I call over one of the guards and it's like, you want a message? I've got one. So be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. Does that work?
That is a wonderful aphorism, and we will add that to our scriptures.
No, that's the message. That's the message. Can we
The
get
messages
that?
are typically much longer than that, and usually a collective effort.
Captain Hawk will enter the room.
Okay.
And
I'm following the captain.
Yeah.
It is actually quite nice. There is not a computer, but there is some kind of physical writing implement.
I will take up one of the writing implements and write out, can you scan the room for bugs or listening devices, and hold it up to Lieutenant Lanford.
I will absolutely scan the room.
Right.
All
So
right.
there's no computers or anything in this room that we're in.
No, and I will let you know that the computer or your scan is thwarted mostly by the walls, which seem to be made of a denser material than most of the rest of the station. You do find that there is a carafe of water with some glasses that is perfectly safe to drink. And there is, in fact, a bathroom with plumbing hooked up. It's a rather unusual design, so you're not entirely sure how it's traditionally used. But, you feel like you could probably eliminate your waste in it if you had to.
Right. The BD
Does it have
doesn't really
free
point that way.
spells?
I'm confused.
I'm gonna take a hot minute to just clean my wounds up a little bit and get the dirt off the side of my face.
So let's see.
Pardon me.
All right, I go into the room and I start looking for an emergency exit.
There is not an emergency exit. There is the one door.
Okay.
I feel like we have to make up a message that does get us out of here and also is kind of not culturally contaminating to them. I think the idea of be excellent to each other and don't do any weird shit is good, but it probably needs to be a little bit more expensive than
I could just recite to them the first paragraph of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Well, I have extensively studied Starfleet protocols. If they want something lengthy and convoluted, I can just,
wishy-washy
Yeah,
milk
what-
and be nice
what
to each
I
other.
think-
That sounds like the Starfleet Charter, yes.
I did record that sermon. We could throw some words in there from it.
Yeah, sprinkle some of their theology. But I am skeptical that even if we hand them this message, that will then be allowed to
I
leave.
mean, we could also write a
Okay.
message around how there's doom coming from down below from that core that's not being taken care of.
Or I access our, I open up my tricorder, which obviously has the Starfleet version of ChatGPT in, and say, make a message for these people.
I feel like
this
we're
is
living in a
the
future where
input.
there is no shitty fucking AI.
Yeah.
So
The
as
only AI that
ChatGPT
exists
got
is good
outlawed.
AI.
as you're discussing your message, you notice that the guards posted by the door leave.
Oh,
That's
cool.
odd.
How do we
So
notice?
we're on the
Rude.
honor
Hey,
system
look, the
here.
goal is to do nothing, and we're succeeding.
Okay, question. Is the door open?
No, it is sealed
Okay.
shut. However, there is a
Okay.
window on it, and in the window you see the face of Balak appear. And she taps on the window and says, "Hey,
Oh,
Hey.
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 I bribed
I
the
motion everybody to come over.
I bribed the guards."
Can you
Yeah.
come
Some
in?
things, no matter where you go, they never change.
Can you open the door?
Sure. I don't have the codes for that.
It's a
Is
code.
there an alternate
Right.
exit, like a hidden one or something?
Okay. So, no, but
Okay.
the back wall of the bathroom actually leads to a service corridor that's been sealed off. And I might have some explosives.
Oh, I fucking knew that bathroom was
Could you-
weird.
Could you meet us?
So,
That
Could you meet us
sounds
there?
like a very permanent solution.
Could you meet us there and we'll talk?
No, it's sealed.
Oh,
Well,
it's sealed.
Yeah, she's
what
going to
she's
use
trying
the
to say is
bombs.
But the
You can't
guards are
blow
going to be
a
gone for
hole
a
in it.
while. I gave them like 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll
that wine's
move.
weak, man. I had some. It was anyway. So
Oh, this is
let me
not
ask you a
the
question.
look, this is not the wine we serve at religious functions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then. Let me ask you a question. These explosives, how loud are they going to be?
Oh, very.
And what will happen when you set them off? Will the guards come running?
Probably. And I'm not going to set them
Yeah.
off. You will.
Right,
Let's be clear here. What's the plan after that?
Okay. Great question. I thought you might ask. So, we have like rough sketches of the layout of the parts of habitation that are occupied by the heretics. And one of the areas near where the fusion core is labeled the realm of sin. I think it's just a way back to the galaxy.
Oh.
What do you base that assumption on?
In the schematics, it has a lot of similar components to the components that I know about from my studies from the room of the messengers. It seems to have a lot of the
You're
same
like
kinds
an
of
engineer
technology.
almost.
Yeah,
Ah.
I'm one of our scholars.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So
This might be a stupid question, but what actually does make one into a heretic? Are they also born heretics, or do they?
So
Are they violent
they
naturally?
definitely reject the tenets of the covenant, and we're not even sure if they came with us because they don't physically resemble us a whole lot.
So
Oh,
they might be
they're-
a different species, like we are, or some of us are different.
It's possible. They have the same basic body plan, but then again, a lot of you do too, except for that orange one.
That seems to be rather common in the universe.
So
For some weird reason.
You would think everything would be crabs.
you
and
would
yet-
think that.
All right, excellent.
Humans are the
So
crabs of mammals.
these explosives, where are they?
Oh, okay, see the slot for food?
Mhm.
Push it through so that I have access to it.
Push.
So there's a little slidey thing, and she drops a few little items in there out of sight, and she pushes it back. And in that, you see that there's this putty-like substance, as well as some wires and a device with a button on it. She says, "Okay, that is metastable explosive putty. Be careful with it. You're going to hook up the wires to it and to the device with a button, and then you're going to want to take cover. But you want to shape the charge so that it's sort of around the edges of the wall, so that the wall blasts out. It doesn't
I'm
just...
gonna lean over to Captain Hawk while this is being explained and say, "You better toss that to Shelby."
I will take the bomb
Yeah.
and I'll say, Commander Shelby, do you recall when I said that I wouldn't be handing you any further bombs unless I had no other engineer around to hand them to?
Captain, are you about to hand me a bomb?
Here's your bomb, Commander Shelby. Make it so.
Oh, for God's sake.
Use it wisely.
Fine.
I will point out that setting up the putty is going to be a
Dirty.
daring and security check, so it might actually be more of a Krrock kind of a job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daring and
I've got
security,
8
I
on
have
that, so,
11.
He can do the
I-
wires
So-
and the
so what I
putty
do-
part. It's
what I
a
do is-
collective effort.
So I hold the bomb, I look at the captain, and without taking my eyes off him, just hand the bomb to the security officer instead.
I have a 15 in daring and security.
Similar.
Maybe
to
you shouldn't have
C4.
given it away.
Well, can Krrock and I work together to put together this bomb?
Yeah, so I will allow at least one person. Also, you could use your commanding officer thing to give him an order in the scene, I guess.
Also, this is the definition of serious putty, not silly putty.
It's true. This is very serious, buddy. Yeah. So basically, she just handed you a bunch of C4.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what my character said. It's similar to C4.
I feel like in an episode of Stargate.
Yeah. Okay.
there's
So
no
I will.
P90s
I will
around.
assist him by giving him direction, like advice.
Not yet.
Which will, if it uses my command discipline, then Krrock will be able to re-roll one of his d20s.
All right. I will let you take that as a let's see, insight and command. It'll be difficulty 1 to give him the option to re-roll a d20.
Oof.
Oh no, I got a threat out of that one. Thank you for having such a
Oh,
bad
dear.
time ordering people around.
I have a 15 in those stats too.
So
Yet you rolled a 20 and a what is that? A 17. Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
So thank you for the threat, though. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for
Don't
the
use
threat,
all
though. I
that.
do appreciate it.
Like we found, it's more fun when I have threat.
Yes.
Oh, but Krrock can still re-roll one of his d20s.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, I assume because I
sure.
did.
So it is difficulty 2, daring and security, Krrock. You do not have any momentum, and if I'm going to let you know, if you get a complication on this, it's not.
You will lose some.
It's not great to have a complication on the bomb setting roll.
I
No.
remember last time. That bomb didn't go too well either. I'll take an extra die, so give you a threat.
Okay.
I'm just looking at my focuses.
I just want to get to that fusion reactor. I'm assuming that hasn't been maintained
Unless-
in centuries.
Probably not.
Unless infiltration counts, then I don't have one.
Probably not. All right.
Okay, that's fine.
So you got
I
3
figured
dice
I'd
now.
ask the- Yep.
All right, daring
Here
and
we go.
security. Here we go. That is 2 successes. So there you go. And you didn't get a complication. So you have successfully set the bomb. And there's not going to be a roll for like pressing the button. Just everyone can get to cover.
Okay, before we set it off, I'd like to ask the woman. Did you want to come with us, or?
No, I don't have a way through the door.
Yeah, this is gonna give us to we're going to the Heretics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
also don't want to tangle with them.
Thank you for your help. Maybe you should go and get somewhere safe whilst we set this off.
Yeah,
so,
I'm leaving now. Look, there are internal schematics in most of Habitation. I assume that there's also that's the case in the lower levels, since I mean they're still functioning. So
All right, thanks. And before you go, sorry about the questions about sex. We can't take her anywhere.
I don't care.
But
Not everyone has your hang up, Shelby.
if we do find a way back, we may contact you, just in case.
Thank you. All right. So she leaves, and are you going to set off the bomb?
I have it ready. I'm waiting for the order.
Everyone take cover, and then I'll give the order.
Right,
Before we do that, is there anything in this room we could use as a weapon? A knife, anything like that?
I mean, I guess you could shatter the glasses and use the shards of broken glass.
Okay. No, I didn't know if
Stab
there was like
someone with the
like a
stylist.
Yeah, you
carving
could.
knife or
Yeah, there's like a
something for,
pen.
food.
There's like a pen that you could stab someone with.
Okay. If there's
Jillian
no,
has a
like-
great point. Before we blow up the bathroom, does anyone need it?
Good point.
I
That is
just
a good
used it. I mean, to be honest, blowing up is probably not a great idea. But you know, we need to. So
Just for my frame of reference, are we blowing up the wall that has the toilet against it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
the one I've just used, and I couldn't find the flush mechanism.
Yeah.
So-
So
Worst
anybody
sentiment
uses
ever.
it, it's going everywhere.
Yeah.
Jillian.
That's not how a flushing toilet works.
Jillian Wren says, "Can you form a rudimentary lathe?" Which is an excellent reference.
Yes.
But also, since the toilet's blowing up, we could use pieces of it as a weapon.
Maybe,
Lead pipe.
but let's everyone's in cover, and so the button
Yep.
is pressed, and there is some kind of alarm klaxon that starts ringing throughout as far as you can hear, and
And we hoof it.
Yeah, you hoof it into the tunnels. All right, so this is a new scene. I'm spending 2 threat
Cheese it.
to create the complication Radiation 1.
Oh
Dun,
no.
dun, dun.
So you are now in an
So
area
we all
of
get a
habitation.
sunburn.
You're now in an area of habitation with dangerous radiation.
Yikes.
I would like
We
everyone to
blew
give
up
me.
a radiation thing.
I would like everyone, and I'm gonna just go in order so I know I could keep track pretty easily.
Sure.
There's gonna be a difficulty 1 fitness and medicine check, starting with Dr. Tregan.
Fitness medicine.
I'm pretty good at fitness, so I think I'll be fine.
Sorry, you said difficulty 1?
Yes.
I
That
don't think
means
I'm gonna
you
have a
need-
focus in this, right?
What focus do you think might apply?
Because
Because if you don't think there is one, then the answer is no.
I mean, listen, espionage and infiltration are pretty broad, so
Yeah.
booking it around is pretty good.
But this is to resist the effects of radiation sickness, so no.
All right.
It
Dr.
doesn't
Tregan-
matter how good you are at infiltration, you can't infiltrate in between the gamma rays.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
However, I do have a boxing focus. Can I punch the radiation out of it?
But if you get into hand-to-hand combat, that might help. All right, so Dr. Tregan is okay. Let's get a check from Commander Chanos. All right, Chanos is fine. Let's get one from Commander
Hi.
Shelby.
Not a radiation high five.
It's not irradiated. Let's go.
Commander
Shelby.
Shelby?
Or not. not
Sorry,
radiation.
Shelby.
Fitness
Yeah,
medicine.
Shelby, you
Oh.
take a point of radiation damage, which you cannot heal until the radiation is cleared. Changing the scene will not help. So that's 1 stress
So
for
he
you.
has a point of stress permanently,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Well, indefinitely is more accurate.
Yeah, that's correct.
All
That
right,
is more
Captain Hawk.
I will. We don't have momentum, right?
No, you do not. No, actually, you have 2
Oh.
because 2 people have gotten 2 on the checks.
Awesome. I will spend 1 to get another die.
Okay.
Oh, shit, I should have done that.
Well,
Well, either way, he got it back.
yeah, you didn't really need it, so you're now up to 3 momentum, and you're fine. And let's see, Lieutenant Krrock.
Yeah, the only thing I have for focuses is athletics to run quickly. Does that count?
No, you can't outrun the radiation.
Fair enough.
Radiation
Unless you
is
can run
in
the speed
fact
of light, of course.
very fast.
It is very fast.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
it's
Fair
at
enough.
or near the speed of light in almost every case.
Even like a slowed down neutron is thousands of meters per second.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of meant getting past the irradiated area quickly, but that's okay.
Zoomy
That is
Tomato comes in with by
kind of
Grabthar's
everywhere
hammer.
where we are
What
right
a savings!
I
Well,
want to watch
I'll
Galaxy Quest again.
I'm
It is
I'm
really
pretty
good.
good at that, so I'm just gonna roll.
Apparently,
okay,
they're making a
fine.
TV show, Galaxy
Grabthar's
Quest.
Hammer.
Wait, they are?
Yeah, that's what I read earlier from the same
Nice.
people that produced the not real Star Trek.
The Orville?
Which I can't remember.
The
Orville,
Orville?
yeah. But the same
Nice.
people that
Nice.
produced the Orville, apparently.
All right,
Interesting.
Lieutenant Lanford,
any
you are
idea
up
when that's
last.
coming?
All right, I am terrible at this, so I will spend a point for an extra die.
Okay,
And
I
you got
didn't
got
need
3
to.
successes. So hey, so you guys are up to 5 momentum now. So this is look. The radiation 1 is a little bit of like a bane and a boon thing, right? Like there's you might take damage, but also like I knew by now you'd be
Yeah,
probably out of
extra
momentum. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
5 momentum now. All right. So let's see. You now have to navigate through these tunnels. There are in fact places where you can see schematics of roughly where you are, like you are here type maps. But it's not entirely clear because there are obviously modifications that have been made. There are, every once in a while you come across a tunnel that's been sealed off and you have to reroute and things like that. So the navigation of this is going to be a difficulty 3 reason or insight plus engineering test, which will allow you to successfully do things like follow power conduits to find out where they're getting power from, all leading you towards the reactor eventually.
Reason and engineering, I've got 16.
Reason or insight and
Oh.
engineering, but yeah.
Now, I saw Arnold
not-
follow the power conduits and a raptor ate him.
Right. Shall I roll for that then?
Yeah, go for it. It's difficulty 3. You have 5 momentum.
Yeah, because that's better than anything I have. So
Do
so hold
I-
on, real
when it's
quick.
difficulty 3, do I change the complication range to 3?
No.
No. I just do it.
So
Sorry, what were you going to say,
my
Captain?
my follow my lead talent says when I succeed at a task during combat or another perilous situation, I can spend a determination, and if I do, I choose an ally, and their next task attempt counts as having assistance from me. Would this count as a perilous situation that I could use this talent on? All right, then I can assist with my presence and command.
Let's go for it. And you were buying Oh, you didn't buy any dice, Shelby?
Shit, I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
You should, because difficulty 3 means you need 3 successes.
I meant to, but then I just pressed the
Well,
button.
let's take the assist. Maybe Jordan will get a 2. It's possible. He could get 2 successes.
Hold on. I have a focus and inspiration. Can I inspire him to success?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Give us every
and
advantage.
and I have a star cross. Once per mission, before attempting a task and applying a focus, I can double the range of my focus.
Let's do it. All right.
So
very
let's
focused.
see.
And
That's
not enough to get to, even with a double.
I got an 11 at 8 out of 10.
So that's 2 successes, which means you fail by 1, which does not mean that you can all die or anything. However,
We're just a little bit lost.
Just point of order, my veteran skill. If I roll a 6 on d6, I get the determination back.
Oh yeah, okay.
I have a feeling that guards are coming. Is the thing.
It does mean, however, that you have been wandering around long enough to need to take another fitness and medicine test.
Oof.
Are we still going to go in order?
Yeah, we're gonna still go in order. All right. That is a success there. A success for Chanos.
I think I disagree. I'm totally able to dodge this radiation. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Or you're just resisting it. Shelby's good.
Wax on, wax off.
I'm using a momentum.
Okay, how much? 1?
1.
All right, well, yeah, you get it back. Yeah. All right. Krrock,
I'll just roll because I'm pretty good.
you're good.
Whoops.
And Lanford,
Oh yeah, I rolled the.
do you want to use any momentum?
I'm going to use a momentum.
How much would you like to use?
Just 1. I mean, I do have a focus in physics, so at least I'll know exactly how the radiation's killing me.
I hit
There you go.
threaten some momentum, my bad. Yeah, you're all fine, although you're any stress from last time. And as DM Wing points out, spend momentum. You guys do have 5 of it. You got a lot. So, all right. Oh no, that was difficulty 1. So actually, you're back up to 6. Okay. But it is going to be a number of what is it? Another insight and engineering difficulty 3. But you have 6 momentum.
I burned every resource I had trying to bail you out last time, so I'm tapped.
Well, Shelby, you want to spend any momentum?
How many momentum we got?
6.
I
mean, you could burn all of them and get 3 more dice if you wanted to.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get 2 more dice, so that should be enough, right?
I mean, I don't know.
Technically, if you really, really want to succeed, you could use your determination, and then we could spend 3 momentum to get it back.
If
It
you have
is-
a value, or you could do
No,
reference a directive.
I've checked my values and stuff. Nothing really applies there.
Well, there's a directive. We have a
Okay.
directive of
Yeah, to get home.
to get home.
You could probably use that, but
This is
yeah.
100%.
It's probably not worth
Hey,
it just to not get lost.
one
but
of the
if our lives depend on it.
One of the determination spends that you can do is re-roll dice, which means you could just roll 2d20s, and if they're better than the 17 and a 19 that you got, that could be a success if you burn that determination with the directive.
Okay, so I just roll another 2 d20s.
Mhm.
All right, I burn my determination then.
There you go.
That is better.
And since I'm the second in command and I'm in communication with you, you could spend 3 momentum now to get the determination back.
So you find yourselves in having found a reactor room that is just... There's a sort of toroidal central reactor in the room. There are pillars going from the floor to the ceiling, randomly placed seeming grates, and there are just power cables strung all over the place that seem like this is very, very ad hoc levels of drawing power from this reactor that is, probably not been serviced in a while. There's like rust all over the place. It's
Shelby is disappointed.
clearly...
Shelby's more than disappointed. Shelby's having a panic attack.
So
can I scan it for like any imminent problems or anything?
Well,
Well, where do we enter the room?
As you're about to, I'm going to spend 12 threat.
Oh. Yeah, should we just... that's the
Reversal
campaign
of
over, guys. It
fortune,
was nice playing with
baby.
you.
So out of various vents and little holes in the wall crawl some 12 various humanoids, all with weirdly shaped lumps and tumorous growths. But they do look like underneath all that they might have once been the same species as the Covenant. And we are changing the scene to now have that
Radiation.
conflict
Radiation
there.
zombies.
All right, so now Hawk is gonna like do the reloading his biceps thing, like you
Yeah.
know.
Where are we in the room?
You can place your tokens in an appropriate-ish place. I don't really care.
My token isn't
Okay.
on the screen.
That's right.
Well, you
We
can
sort of
also
were
fix
looking
that.
We were looking around and then stuff
Be your
happened,
own
I guess.
token.
Right?
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Exactly.
She's standing on the reactor. Oh, never mind.
Be your own token, minority.
Yeah, Trigan's just like, yo, get me out. Get me out of
She
this.
just throws herself
Why?
into the reactor.
Why? I don't have a thing.
You gotta drag
do you mean?
from your name onto the board.
I've done it, but it's not working. Nothing's
Oh,
happening.
boo.
Drag the name, not the picture.
Do they click at excitement? Do they sniff to identify?
They immediately
They look
find
at Dr. Tegan and go, "Our queen, our
A
queen!
queen!
Do you know the way?"
Do you know the way, my queen?
I don't know why it's not letting me put my character up. This is
That's
annoying.
a deep reference there.
You do
Alright,
not understand
I'll
how
see
much
what I
I
can do.
loved Ugandan Knuckles. Like, what a study in human psychology.
There you
I
go.
mean, you made that cursed one.
I particularly like the memes that reference it because they're like three
There we
tier
go.
down. Like you need to like know several layers of internet lore. to-
Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you laugh at something and then the guy next to you asks what you're laughing about, and then you have to go into a 20-year-old history lesson on level 7 memes.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, there was this gorilla in the Cincinnati Zoo that got shot, and then
Hey,
That's what put us on the alternate time.
It is. Alright, but
Mix out.
so here's what we're gonna do,
where
guys.
in this room, where would like a control panel or something be? Because that's where I would be.
Actually, probably
reactor.
about where you are now. But we are going to take a
Right.
quick break, let everyone get refreshed beverages, any snacks or
sounds
anything, and we will be back in just about 5 minutes. So, see you on the other side of the break.
be right back.
And we are back with Commander Chanos missing in action. Because apparently, Commander Andorians apparently just don't know how long minutes are.
See, it's 5 Andorian minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's an Andorian minute, man.
They're a lot longer, I forgot. I should specify next time. 5 Earth minutes. Alright, so we are actually going to start using turn-based actions at this point. You can all observe that the heretics have popped out of various locations and are at least menacing looking. And don't look too much into what I've used as tokens. I grabbed D&D Ettercaps. That's not actually what they look like. I just forgot to make a token for them, so... I did spend a ridiculously long time figuring out how to spread these cables out in an automatic way, so I didn't have to do it manually, which actually at that point might have been faster.
But now if you need to spread them out again...
That's exactly the thing, though, is like, now if I need to do a similar thing, I just can already do it.
That is very on-brand for you.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, since we're going in turn order, and the captain speaky thing is usually... We're going to see if we can stop this fight from happening. I am... Looks like you were going to say something.
Oh, Zuby Tomato does have a pretty good joke. They say, so a Klingon, an Andorian, a Ferengi, and a Cardassian walk into a bar. The bartender asks him, "What can I get for you, Mr. Combs?"
That's good, yeah.
So I'm going to approach carefully the nearest creature.
Well, there's one in your zone.
And yeah, there's one in my zone. And I'm going to, kind of put my hands up in a non-threatening manner.
Okay.
And introduce myself in a calming voice and tell them that we're not here to cause any harm.
All right, give me a... Let's see. Give me a presence and security check.
Would this count as a persuasion thing?
Yes.
And if this task is persuading someone to not resort to violence, I can add a bonus d20 to my dice pool.
Well, there you go. Do you want to also spend any momentum?
Absolutely. So I'll spend a momentum. I'll do a focus.
So
and
you would have to spend 2 momentum to get up to that 4th die.
Sure, why not?
Okay. This will be difficulty 3.
How much more momentum do we have?
1. But I also have 0 threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Support him
If you gave me
with
2
my
threat
spell.
and got rid of the momentum, and yeah, you could assist Chanos if you wanted to.
With Chanos' assist, I'll just stick with 4 dice.
Okay.
No, actually, what's the point of having resources if you don't spend them? I am going to draw on my saved milestone, casting my mind back to when we convinced Commander Tala to not blow up Kronos, and that experience with talking in a tense situation will allow me to use that as if I'd spent determination, so I get a bonus die that already has a 2.
All right.
Okay.
So I'll take back those 2 momentum, because now you have 1 die that's already just has rolled a 2 successes, and then you can roll 3 more dice. All right, well, you only needed 1 more success. You got 3 more successes.
Let's go, Captain!
Silver
So
Tomahawk.
Nice.
And then it's Tirirana in with the assist. You guys are
Yeah!
back up to full momentum, by the way, and negated the entire combat encounter because they all just kind of stand down, and the one near you, Captain Hawk, says, "You're not the Covenant, are you?"
Nope.
We are not. In fact, we were recently their unwilling guests.
Oh.
They kidnapped us.
Oh.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah.
You would know something about that.
Yeah, to be fair, we kidnap them sometimes.
Oh.
To be fair, Shelby kidnaps people every so
You
often.
don't need to tell them that right now, Doctor.
Happens
Well-
to the best of us.
Look, we wouldn't kidnap them if they didn't have all the hydroponic space.
That's fair.
Could you just ask them if you can use the hydroponic space?
Have you looked at us? They feel like we're some kind of horrible heretics that are supposed to be damned or something.
And I'm assuming you're not.
I don't know. Maybe
would
I
you
am a
mind
heretic.
If I did a quick medical.
Do not ask them about sex,
Uh,
Doctor.
Yeah, so we have Dr. Tregan here is
Oh, hello.
skilled in the ways of medicine. Maybe she can help with whatever you've got going on. And this gentleman over here, the very blunt one, is our engineer. If you don't mind, we'd like him to examine your fusion core.
To find out whatever that's got going on.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
Well,
but
it's-
why are these heretics giving me like mutants from Lower New York and Futurama vibes?
Fallout.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. Why don't you take a insight and engineering check there, Shelby, to see what's wrong with the fusion generator?
How many momentum we got?
6.
Okay, I'm going to use 2 of them.
All right.
May I
Well,
use my
it's one or it's one.
tricorder?
It goes 1,
Sorry, 3.
3. Okay, so yeah, 3.
1, 3, 5.
All right, so that is plenty of success right there. So the shielding is currently insufficient, but you could probably fix that. And also, the electromagnetic containment field has been the emitters for that are out of alignment, which is why there is excess radiation flux. And those are both things that you feel like you could probably fix.
May I do a quick medical check?
Yes, give me a difficulty 2 reason and medicine check.
Reason and and I have a focus on xenobiology.
I'll say that counts.
Yeah.
Before, I was going to use my analytical recall to ask you to give me some more information about the reactor.
Okay.
Because it's something I've already seen.
So this fusion reactor looks like it is some kind. It's similar in basic function to a tokamak reactor. It uses an electromagnetic confinement ring to contain a bunch of plasma from a tritium store, and then that plasma the ring itself is then constricted to a very, very narrow band, which then heats up the plasma, which gets it to a pressure and temperature conducive to fusion. And then it uses a bunch of high-efficiency thermocouples to pull that power out of the reaction.
Okay, so once Tregan's finished doing what she's doing, I want to attempt some repairs then.
All right. Tregan, you now know that genetically they are similar to the Covenant and probably are at least at most a different subspecies, which, if they've been on this station and separate for tens of thousands of years, that could explain that. And also, all of them are suffering from various forms of radiation sickness, and a lot of them have radiation-induced deformities that were probably congenital.
Do I
Is
know
that-
how much of it may or may not be fixable with tools that I have?
Congenital deformities,
or medical
probably.
technology?
So congenital deformities, you need like long hours of surgery over days and weeks.
Glance over at Shelby.
Well, as far as like acute radiation burns and whatnot, I mean, you can fix that with dermal regenerators.
I have a
I
question,
will-
Captain.
Lieutenant?
Should we bring these people back with us? They seem to be suffering here.
Well, that would be up to these people. But it is something
We
should
just
keep
take
in
them,
mind.
it's fine, we've done that before.
Yes, Commander. We had a whole conversation about it, if you'll recall.
Pretty sure you had to go to training.
The conversation was formal in nature, some of which some people would call it disciplinary.
Can I say I still love that I kidnapped the
right.
guy and Shelby took the fall for it?
Yeah, I'm now banned from Vulcan because of all this, right? I'm just saying.
Is that
It
so
happens.
bad, really?
Well, that sounds like your fault.
Well, I did make a
Um,
Vulcan instructor cry twice.
Captain, what's going on with this people appears to be exactly what you would expect.
Understood.
Okay.
And the radiation, just I might have missed it. Is that coming from the cores? That's what's causing the radiation flux?
Mm-hmm.
right. In that case, the first thing I'm going to try and repair is the fact that it's spewing out radiation.
All right, that'll be a difficulty 4. You can use control or reason and engineering.
Control or...
We're going to want to use
I'm gonna
momentum and
reason
probably get
engineering.
an assist
I
as
am
well.
going to use my electroplasma power systems focus.
Yes.
Control and engineering I would have 14.
How many momentum we got?
3.
Okay, I'm going to use all of them.
And
Can I assist?
well,
Yeah, 2
Chanis,
assists.
you said he had a 13 or 14?
14.
What do you got,
I've got 16.
Brilliant?
All right, I will.
I have a 14, and I have a focus in physics, quantum mechanics, and warp mechanics.
There you go.
I would
Sounds
say,
good.
probably Lanford. All right, yeah, you can assist Lanford. All right, so you get 4 dice there, Shelby. So that is 4, and we get an extra point of momentum back. And yes, you have fixed the shielding, and I clicked up
Nicely
instead of
done.
momentum. There we go.
Right.
Okay,
I
so
would like to
what was the
point
other
out,
problem?
just because I want to jinx it, we have not rolled a critical fail yet.
Yeah, now good fucking job.
First
No,
of
we
all,
did. We had one.
that is not
20,
true.
So
Yeah, we
Oh,
did
did
get
we?
120. Yep, Captain Hoff.
Oh, did we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was
I
the other
missed
thing
it.
that was wrong with the reactor?
The projectors for the electromagnetic confinement ring are misaligned.
Okay, well, I'm going to attempt to align them then.
All right. This will be another difficulty 3. This has to be control and engineering. There is no reason option here.
Control and engineering. Right, I've still got a 14 in that. I'm
Daniel
gonna give you
MWJ says, "Don't blow up the galaxy, Shelby."
It's okay. We're
Okay, I'm
outside of
working
it
on
this
it.
time.
I'm going to use my electroplasma
blow
power
it up,
systems
we're not
focus
dead.
again, and I'm
Okay.
going to give you a threat. So,
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you gave me a second threat, which is actually just going to be used to increase this complication right now to radiation 2. So,
Can
Oh no.
Lanford assist again with this one?
actually, yes, I will allow one. Yeah, has to be control and engineering though. Never mind. You guys
Hell
are
yeah,
good.
Nice.
Lanford. Good job.
Good
So it
job.
does still technically increase the radiation to level 2, but you fixed it, so who cares? So I guess I'll just take the threat. Doesn't matter much.
Oh no, it's getting worse. It's getting
Captain,
better.
so I appear to have, at least for now, stabilized the reactor. I've aligned the magnetic stabilizers, and the shielding is at least at a reasonable level where we're not going to die of poisoning in the next few minutes.
Well done, Commander. Is the radiation level now like back to normal levels, or is it still
Yes,
elevated?
It's back to normal. It's so okay. Look, there's going to be a little bit of elevated radiation, but I am clearing the complication. There's going to be some things that are irradiated, and there's going to be decay products here and there. But
Right.
yeah, you're fine.
I was more not for threat to ourselves, but for the health of these people is what.
Yeah, the radiation. For as long as the shielding lasts, which Shelby can tell is going to be at least decades. The ambient radiation level is going to go down to safe levels down here, and so there will probably be no more radiation-induced tumors and congenital defects as a result of the radiation. Will probably go away in a generation or 2.
And given some time, I could probably fix it indefinitely.
Then I will convey that information to our friend here, who I don't think we got his name.
You didn't ask.
Well, I'm going to ask now.
My name is Todd.
Todd.
Hey,
Todd.
Hello.
I'm Captain Hawk of
Hello.
Lexington. We've fixed the reactor, so the defects, the tumors, and painful poisoning your people have experienced for, I presume, as long as anyone remembers, should go away on their own now after a few generations.
Yeah, your shielding was woefully inadequate. I've fixed that for you.
Thank you. I don't know how to repay you.
For future reference,
well-
don't live around a massive nuclear reactor.
Well, we don't have a whole lot of choice.
You can. We don't need any repayment. It's Starfleet's part of our mission is to help the civilizations that we encounter. But we would greatly appreciate it if you would show us to the transporter that we understand you people have.
What
Captain,
now?
it may also be valuable to get access to the computer systems a little bit more fully.
Also, that
Well,
I'll describe what a transporter room looks like.
yeah, that place. Yeah, sure.
Do you guys have a settlement down here?
I mean, we have living quarters, I guess.
Can I ask? The other guys didn't really know. Do you know how you got here?
I mean, we have legends, but who knows how accurate those are.
Supposedly, if we can get access to the computers, your historical files are stored somewhere down here.
Well, then maybe that'll work. I don't know.
Okay, can you show me to the computer, please?
Yeah, follow me. And he leads you out. And we're going to change the scene. You guys are back down to 0 momentum.
This is Tim. This is my brother Rod and my father Ned over there. Very
Look,
funny.
I forgot
Rob.
to come up with a name for any of the heretics, so I was just like, bah.
This is the goblin. His name is Boblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Neretic the heretic. That's me.
This is Blebo Blorbus. Blebo
Yeah.
Blorbus is
My-
horrible and nobody likes
my-
him.
When I'm running a game, my go-to is always like to look around for Lobus. Like, it's in my notes somewhere. I just can't find it. But he does have a name, and it's a good name too.
It is Glass Lighter. Glass Lighter,
Hello
yeah.
there, a good
Glass
name,
Lighter
too.
the Wizard.
Yeah.
All right, so Todd leads you to a computer terminal down a few twisting corridors, and he says, "I think this should work."
Okay. Well, I look into their computer systems and try and access their historical records.
All right, it's actually not terribly difficult. Your universal translator comes in pretty handy for helping to translate files, and it's all pretty well laid out down there.
Does
And
it have the annoying long finger pokies?
no, you don't have to use the annoying long finger pokies. Shelby is safe for today. So it looks like as you're looking through that, a large group of some species whose name you don't recognize actually found the planet Pegasi V while they were already like interstellar nomads who were trying to seek out some kind of like place to settle down to form a commune to, you know, become enlightened. And they found the ruins that you found, and they were collectively transported here and decided to settle down and not go back. And they figured that there would be messengers from whatever gods built these amazing ruins, because obviously they had to have been the product of the gods, because mere mortals couldn't have made such sophisticated technology. And yeah, they've been here for like tens of thousands of years, and at some point the radiation started to fail, and the people who were living lower down started having birth defects, and it's not clear exactly what happened, but there was some kind of division between the people who lived in the upper levels and the lower levels.
Well,
Well,
considering
obviously
it's-
they must be evil. The gods punished them.
yeah,
Gods wouldn't do that for nothing.
Knowing religions, these people were born deformed, so they must be evil. Like,
It's certainly possible.
Do you have a leader down here, Todd?
I'm my own leader. I'm Todd.
Do you have a group? Do you operate as a collective of some kind?
We're an anarcho-syndicalist collective. We have a
I,
ruling council, and we all take turns on the ruling council. But all external affairs have to be ratified by the entire group on bi-weekly meetings.
When's your next meeting?
I don't know, like
But bi-weekly, is that twice a week or every 2 weeks?
it's every 2 weeks.
Right, cool.
right.
Yeah.
If your next meeting is coming up, Captain Hawk, I don't know if you want to offer
I mean, it's in
further assistance.
It's in a few days.
Old woman, man. So
individual. Individual of the collective.
Did you just refer to Todd as an old woman?
that was not Hawk. That was Jordan making on a reference.
Okay, right.
So, okay, so we found out what's going on. That tells me that we're not violating the Prime Directive, and also that we may need to evacuate these people once we figure out how to leave. Can you show us to the teleporter room?
Yeah, absolutely. It's this way. Actually, it's pretty close. So he leads you down there, and yeah, there's a teleporter pad, and
You know
it
what?
has
Todd seems like a chill guy.
it has
Yeah,
a
I like Todd. I really like his vibe.
Yeah.
he's like so this thing hasn't really been working since the reactor started leaking. It has a lockout, but it says it's locked out until power fluctuations stop. I think we could probably just unlock it.
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
give
we
it a
just
go.
fixed the reactor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he walks over and he hits a button, and the panel goes from this like red, just lined out with some kind of alien text over it, to a blue thing with a bunch of nice buttons. Yeah, I think it's fixed.
Cool. Thanks,
Great.
Todd. Do you want to go get a beer? You seem like a cool dude.
We don't have any beer.
Oh,
Well, we do. So,
Yeah.
You do.
well, not with us.
Well, I
But-
a little bit.
Time to offer. Bring 'em back. with
But
us.
if this teleporter works, and if it'll bring us back home, then we may be able to offer you a way out, if you wish, or perhaps assistance if you don't wish to leave.
Well, I would have to talk to everybody to see if we want to leave. That's one of those bi-weekly things.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And we would be happy to share our details of our culture and the sort of thing you'd expect from Starfleet.
I don't know what to expect from Starfleet. I've never heard of you.
But that's
That's-
why that's the kind of thing I'd be sharing with you, Todd.
Oh, that makes sense. Yep, got it.
I
Yeah, so
think
just so
that,
you're aware, you're going to be getting one of those jobs that's janitor orientated. If you join Starfleet.
Captain,
Well, Yes, Dr.
we
Krieger,
do have another issue on our hands.
which
There are
is-
people on the upper levels that are also very not satisfied, and they will not be safe here for a long period of time.
I hadn't forgot about them, Doctor. So we also need to make contact with the what's the Covenant with the Covenant, and see if we can sort that out.
Oh,
I'll just get hold of Master Chief. I think he knows them.
Don't worry. We won't bring you with us. We'll just go ourselves.
well, I mean,
Unless you want to come, of course.
so you want to go back up to the top side?
Well,
how do you get up there?
I mean, we cut off all the internal sensors a while back, and which includes the comms, because we didn't want the Covenant chasing us around.
Thing is, we need
So-
to go and let them know there's the opportunity to leave if they want to.
I feel like not many of
Right.
them will, but
Well,
We know of at least
self-determination
We
is
know
a
of at
core
least
value of Starfleet, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
do know of one person at least up top, as Krrock mentioned, that would like to come. And I'll be
Well,
damned if we're going to leave someone behind.
Hey, Captain, I'm just looking at this window. I can see the star systems I blew up.
I find that
Still
hard to
visible from
believe.
this far away.
you should find that hard
Considering-
to believe.
He just has this
Look.
giant telescope in front of his face.
I am not a scientist, but I do understand the speed of light.
It's more like he's got one of those Inspector Gadget.
No, see,
Yeah.
the speed of
I
light is
think
why
with
he
how
can
far
see them,
away
because
we
from
are, you
your
will-
perspective, they haven't blown up yet, so
They
they're
haven't blown
still
up yet,
visible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
With how far away we are, you will have to wait a couple of
So
millennia.
before we head up, I think we should deal with a thing here and talk to the individuals and see what they want to do.
I mean, I can just
Then-
call a meeting.
Yeah, let's do
Um,
that.
Okay.
Captain, I think if we're going to offer this to them, it'd be beneficial for me to go back with them given their medical condition.
I agree.
Yeah,
So
that is
Uh,
another thing we can offer is medical for any problems you might have.
So Todd goes and calls a meeting, and he comes back in a few minutes and says, "So I think we're actually just going to meet in the teleport room because you're all here."
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
So it takes a little while, but a few score raggedy-looking individuals come in dressed in various scraps of rags, all of whom have various tumorous growths and odd numbers of fingers or things like that. And Todd
Four
says,
score and 20 guys.
all right, so these guys are Starfleet. And this one, with the weird metal in his face, yeah, he fixed the reactor. And the one with too many arms helped with some of the tumors that you see I've got gone. Yep. And they say that this room can actually take us off of habitation and onto a, what it was a planet, you called it?
Yeah.
Pegasi V, from where we could take you to where you could get help.
It's down in that
Alright.
galaxy you can see.
So, I feel like that's a pretty good deal, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not too tied to this whole habitation thing. Been more of a
So
no other
the
choice.
council of Dave, Rodney, Jeffrey, John, and Simon.
Oh no, they actually do take a roll
Oh.
call, but all of them are like completely incomprehensible. It just turns out this guy has a weirdly easy to pronounce and common sounding name. Yeah, they all have names like,
And Todd.
Except for Todd.
and then there's Todd.
Turns out he's actually not named Todd, but Tod, which means death in German, and it's a weird joke. It's actually a plot point in one of my favorite.
It's also a weird
places.
pun for
Nice.
the lumps that they've all got, that they're kind of toady.
But so after a little bit of deliberation, they say like, yeah, we'll leave. Pegasi 5 sounds like a good place to go, or at least to
Outstanding.
retreat to, and then maybe you might send like an evacuation force or something.
And depending on how lucky you are, you might get to colonize your own world. Heard that happens sometimes.
Oh,
Or
Okay.
we could just put you in the dilithium mine. I mean, no, never mind.
what's a dilithium?
Let's
Alright.
try not to overwhelm them.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Slowly,
Uh,
very slowly, they will have to get used to things like skies and oceans.
Yeah.
so I want. I think that. Well, first of all, can we tell if this transporter is like something we're going to be able to use multiple times?
So it's not
least
directly
to leave.
obvious, but there's nothing that indicates that it's a one-time use thing.
Okay, because I am inclined to say we should evacuate the people who want to evacuate now, sending some of us back so that one, if something goes wrong up top, someone knows where we are. So hopefully we can get help. And two, so that these people get off as soon as possible.
Okay.
I should go. I
And-
can organize this.
What is your
Yeah,
plan for
especially-
talking to the Covenant?
So before we send these people away, if Todd can show us how to get back to the Covenant, I'd like to make contact from the outside and tell them that I am ready to give them their message.
Okay. So Todd is able to lead you back to the tunnels that are sealed off, and he says, "All right, look, the Covenant doesn't know this, but this sealed off tunnel, we got to work around so that we can get access to the hydroponic base, so we can steal some food every once in a while." And he
That's
shows you.
another thing you won't have to do.
Excuse me.
That does sound nice. But anyway, look, here's a crawl way. Go through there. It'll drop you into a little vent. You'll have to squeeze. It won't be fun. You can make it. You drop down. You'll be in the Covenant territory.
Okay.
Captain, make sure you record your speech for me. I'm looking forward to hearing your message.
I
Don't worry,
take out. I
Croc
take
is
out
our
my
stenographer.
All right, so I'm assuming that you do use the passageway there.
Yes, of course.
All right, so you drop back into Covenant territory, and as you're wandering towards places you know to be inhabited based on schematics and whatnot, you are found by two guards with their pole arms. Say, "Oh, the messengers! We feared that you had been attacked by heretics. All killed."
No, quite the opposite, actually.
Oh, you were. What's the opposite of that?
We met them. They were delightful. One of them's name's Todd, and he's awesome.
That
We're going
seems
for a beer
unlikely.
Uh,
You should probably talk to the High Curate.
Yes, in fact, we're ready to deliver our message and would like to deliver it to the assembled group.
Good. So, you're led back into the main banquet hall, and the High Curate Meharon is there. Says, "Oh, thank goodness you're safe. And I hear that your message is ready.
It is.
Well, let's hear it then.
Well, I'd like to give it to everyone.
I mean, we can't all fit in this room."
Well, everyone who fit.
Have you tried?
And specifically Balak.
Who?
Balak, that was the skeptic, right?
That doesn't mean he knows who you're talking about.
Right. Some of the
Scholar.
farmers and engineers. A
They're
scholar.
scholar
Oh, the
here.
scholar. Oh, yeah, we can definitely fit most of the scholars in here.
Okay, great.
All right. Well, he turns to one of the guards and says, "Get the scholars. Bring them in. They'll want to
With
record
enough
this."
force, we can fit everybody. You just gotta compact them really well.
It's like going to Earth and going, so you know Dave from Earth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do what I've seen other places do. Just have them gathered outside the room listening in.
Yep. It's always fun when an American asks someone who they find out that they live in a country that someone they know lives in is like, "Hey, do you know Dave? He lives in Canada." It's like, yeah, that's not how Canada works.
Yeah. I mean,
What?
I
Isn't
have
But
two
no one lives
uncles
in
named
Canada.
Dave.
Isn't there,
Well, Chesh does
isn't
know Dave in
just like
Canada.
a
You know
little-
both of them.
Wait, Canada's just like a little village in America, right?
Well, it's like a strip of villages all within 10 miles of the border.
And we
Yeah.
all live in igloos.
And with a big stretch of nothing in the middle.
Yeah. And one
Which is
road.
like Scotland's just
Yeah,
one of those
one road,
little
yeah.
villages in England. Right? I'm sure that's how this works.
And
Yeah.
if the history channel is correct, half of the road is frozen
Yeah.
in the winter. And
I've definitely heard a lot of Americans say that Scotland is in England.
I think
Yeah,
Scotland is
I've
the
heard some
capital of
English
England,
people
right?
say that.
Oof.
I was arguing. Do you not remember the Flat Earther Facts who
Oh,
told me that Wales
yeah.
and Scotland are both in England?
I do remember that, and he's British, isn't he?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, personal union, it's complicated. I played Europa Universalis.
All right, so, what is the message that you would like to give to the assembled scholars now that they're here, Jordan?
I am going to introduce myself to all of them as Captain Hawk
Worship me. No, wait.
of the USS Lexington.
I mean, they might take that.
am a representative of an organization called Starfleet, and our objective is to seek out and contact new civilizations like yourselves. You may not know this, but I know now that you come from a nomadic group of people that came from where we're from, and they were seeking a place from which to seek enlightenment, and that's how you got here. The people that you've been told are heretics are no different from you. The only difference is they've been forced to live in squalor. And this is unacceptable, which is why we have assisted them in leaving. However, we understand that some of you may also not be happy with your current situation, which is why I would like to offer to all of you the friendship of Starfleet and the Federation. We can provide medical assistance, we can provide homes, we can provide food, and we can provide contact and cultural exchange to you and all of your descendants.
There's a big murmur through the crowd. And Hikari Mehran is like, God, calm down, everyone, calm down. I'm sure we all want to stay and seek enlightenment, as our ancestors did. And there's a lot of affirming murmurs, but then there's also some kind of like...
all the Gen Zers go, fuck
so,
no.
Everyone who wants to stay and seek enlightenment surely can do so. There will not be any heretic raids anymore, and the plasma reactor has been made safe, and it probably will stay so for another couple of thousand years, but who knows how long it lasts.
So, as Commander Chano said, we're not looking to force anyone to do anything. What we want to do is build bonds of friendship and allow exchange. Perhaps some of you may wish to leave and see the broader galaxy, but it's just as likely that other people will seek enlightenment here.
Wait, we were just going to allow anyone in?
Well, that's up to you.
Oh.
I'm offering options. I'm offering for you to have access to the broader galaxy again. As many messengers as you care to entertain.
Thank you, messengers, says High Curate Meharon. This is certainly an unexpected message. I would say you should return to your room, but someone blew up the toilet.
Yeah.
Most tragic.
What? Someone did what?
Imagine
no.
Commander Shelby just going to
Crazy.
the bathroom.
No,
And there was
noticed that.
still poop in it? What?
as a matter of fact,
That's how it was destroyed.
as a matter of fact, we will be returning to the lower levels and using the facilities there to return to our home. And we can take anyone who wishes to join us with us.
And since the heretics are gone, you guys can reclaim that area. If you so wish.
This is certainly unexpected, but not entirely unwelcome. There are, of course, some rabble-rousers among us who might want to go and who might be better off leaving for everyone.
It would make this place more peaceful, surely.
All right. Well, I will let everyone decide. Could you give us a few days for people to make their choice?
Of course. And I would request, however, that if people want to learn more about Starfleet, the Federation, and the broader galaxy, they be given access to us so we can help them make an informed choice.
All right.
We could just give them a DVD box set of DS9.
So I do have a question. Do you all want to stick around on the station, or does one of you want to try to go back to try to signal to the Lexington what's going on?
I'm already
Or-
doing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dr. Trigan said she went back.
Got it.
So.
Yep, sorry. I forgot about that.
I'm going back with all of the heretics that are coming through.
All right. So
Need medical assistance.
it does take a few days, and there are questions for you from various members of the Covenant. But at the end,
I will specifically have Commander Shelby field some of these questions with my direct supervision as a training opportunity.
It's a learning exercise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
after a few days
Teachable
pass,
moment.
finally a smallish group of mostly people who you recognize as scholars, led by Balak, with about a couple dozen members, all come and say, I think we're the ones who want to leave.
Well,
Okay.
then allow me to be the first to welcome you to the Federation. Come with us.
Thank you. All right. And you guys transport back. Once you transport back, you find yourself back in that same room, able to go back up to the surface, which I'm assuming is where everyone wants to go immediately.
Yes.
So,
Captain,
Okay.
we should
Now,
contact the Admiral. She's the one who gave us this secret mission, after
it
all.
wasn't a secret.
This particular
this
one
time.
wasn't a secret.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
No.
Oh.
There has been
Admiral
one
definitely
secret.
not a vampire.
Yeah.
did we find any signs that these ruins actually belong to the God, I'm bad with names.
Tilikaal.
Tilikaal. And yes, because
You did.
of the technological level and because of the resemblance they have to the other place.
Yep.
Are,
So you
are they
did, in
related to Titalac?
Maybe they're related to
I
Tilak.
thought maybe
Mr.
we could
Dr.
just
Snelling.
pick up one of the charge keys and it says mate on Tilikaal on the bottom or something.
That does not occur. But once you get up to the surface, your communicator chimes there, Captain Hawk.
This is Hawk.
Captain, this is a talk. I'm glad to see that you are back on the planet. We are prepared to beam you and any further refugees at your leisure.
This will be several to beam up.
Could we get a count, sir?
Yes, Talk. We can get a count.
Thank you.
1, 2.
Yeah, you give him the
I would
number.
also like to
You
have...
beam up. And, alright, if you want to debrief between the senior crew, feel free, but after that will be the end of the episode.
There's
I'm
only
thinking
one
of
thing
things.
that I would want the ship to be working on, besides, like, I'm obviously busy, but it would be nice if there was, like, research and scanning going
there
around
is.
of, like, documentation of where we went.
Yeah, also, I'm studying that transporter technology.
All that's
Yeah.
going on. They're trying to triangulate where you went to. There were scans of the transport beam. They have a rough direction. They're not sure if they're going to be able to pinpoint it down to a single location, but maybe.
Oh, it turns
I
out I
wanna
went to a
get,
galaxy where there's some Wraith or something. Shit, we crossed franchises.
Pegasus?
Yeah.
I want to get some of the rhyolite here because the Isocron readings were so different on it. I want to get some of that so that I can get some good recordings of that.
Absolutely. You guys can collect
The
all sorts of
Zodiac
data.
Knights?
But unless you have any last things you want to debrief each other about, I'm just going to assume that you gather all the necessary data and you can get all of it to Admiral Stoker. And
Did teleport back give us our phasers back?
no, it did not.
So I will fill out that paperwork. It's a pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it turns
Yes, we lost
it
9
turns
phasers.
it turns out that the
No.
phasers were found on the ground in the room, and were in
Okay,
fact
no
collected.
paperwork. Awesome.
Yeah.
By me, probably.
No, actually, they were already gone when you got there. It
The
turns
other
out,
team,
the room was investigated after you left, and other people
Oh.
found the phasers.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
Hawk found our phasers.
Yeah,
So we
Yeah,
don't
weird,
have
weird
to
thing when
explain
the
how-
captain and half the chain of command disappear, they send someone to investigate that.
it's true.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't expect people to go looking for us that quickly.
I wouldn't expect them to look for us. I would expect them to look for sensitive items that got missing.
all right.
If we had been gone longer, they would have sent the Cerritos.
Yeah, you gotta grab a theodolite and find out if the planet is flat or a sphere. Do plumb bobs diverge on Pegasi V? Who knows?
Yeah, I checked.
Okay.
The Zodiac Knights?
All right, well, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you very much. I hope everyone had fun. And you guys can enjoy the end credits while we do some final wrap-up bits. And we will hopefully see all of you next time for, I don't remember what the name of the next episode is, but I am going to
Episode 12.
It might be.
Also,
Actually,
I'm
you know what? I
pretty
think
sure
it's just in here.
The next time is in 2 weeks, right?
Wasn't it Orgy on
Oh,
Ryza?
is it in 2 weeks? Look, we'll double check to see if it's in 2 weeks or if it's next week, because I do remember
I
saying that
know
we
that
might.
we are at least 2 people short.
Oh yeah, because of the holidays, right?
Yes.
It's the
Okay.
27th next
What I'm
week.
going to need everyone to do is to both stop having a religion and also stop celebrating any
Having
holidays
family
from any
and
religions
friends,
that have become culturally
yeah.
important. Stop
I'm
having
already
family
there.
and friends.
I'm there. I'm done.
Right,
Done and
so-
done.
I
Um,
already
tell my-
don't have friends,
Stafford,
but
do you
I
want
will
to tell my
buy
wife I'm
the
not allowed to
family
celebrate
bit.
any more holidays and stuff?
Yeah,
Or-
just have her send me a message, and I'll let her know that you can't celebrate
Right.
holidays, or anniversaries, or birthdays.
Oh, well, I was going to take her to Amsterdam for her anniversary. We're not doing
No,
that
you now have to take her to Amsterdam just because.
Oh.
But it could coincide with what you used to be your
I mean,
anniversary.
have I got to be nice to her just like in general now?
Yeah, that's actually going to be a new rule too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You
All
mean
right.
I've got to enjoy the company of the person I spend my life with?
I don't know,
Sorry.
that sounds pretty gay.
Yeah, it does
Also,
sound really gay.
Look,
To
what you do,
everyone,
what you
to
do is you
everyone
take her to
else-
Modesto, California, and then she will really appreciate you because the surroundings will be terrible.
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I'm taking her to
okay.
New York, New Jersey, so I'm going to look good.
So, the next episode is Into the Heart of Murasaki 312.
Ooh.
Is the next one. So, I will see everyone, I guess, in a couple weeks. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Everyone have a nice Kwanzaa.
Yeah, they're all three are coinciding this year. Especially since the guy who created Kwanzaa was like, I want Kwanzaa to be after Christmas, so I'll put it on the 26th, not realizing that every single day of Kwanzaa is a day of Christmas, because that's how
As a-
Christmas works.
As an Adosian, I only have 3 fingers. Does this still apply?
You're just
Sure,
always
probably.
giving the sign.
Yeah. All right, bye everybody. Live long and prosper out there.
Bye.
Peace and long life.